Hello and welcome to yet another video. This is the 6th episode of the story, in which Naruto, born into the Uchiha clan, rises to become the strongest Uchiha and Shinobi ever, alongside his sister, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Please like and subscribe to show your support. Let's get the show started. Two months passed since Tsunade became the new Hokage and not a lot had happened really. She was focused on rebuilding the village and everything was going smoothly thanks to the help from Koyuki as they were now allies. Naruto and Natsumi went on a few C and B rank missions together since Tsunade wanted to get them ready for their departure soon. When Natsumi wasn't with him, Naruto went on some A and S rank missions as well. Natsumi learned of her training trip with Jiraiya and was a bit hesitant at first given his antics. That was understandable due to the fact that she noticed she was starting to grow now and she didn't want him eyeing her like he does everyone else. Naruto gave her a barrier seal that keeps anybody from seeing through it just in case, and then she accepted the trip. Naruto was unable to tell Natsumi what he was doing due to the status of it, but he just told her that she'd better come back able to match him in skill or else her trip was for nothing. This of course led to her challenging him again, much to everyone's amusement given that they probably passed Guy and Kakashi on the amount of challenges they've had. Naruto's birthday also passed and Natsumi threw him a last-minute party at Ikaraku's. However, Naruto took that day to remind Natsumi that she was younger than him still, and that led to a sibling spar which she of course lost, but she had fun. Naruto was currently walking into the hospital with Natsumi and wasn't happy about it since he just finished a B-rank mission. "Remind me again why we're at the hospital." Naruto said, "Because Sir Duckbutt got hurt again on our mission." Natsumi said, "I'm surprised you're not the one getting hurt a lot on your missions given your temper." Naruto said, "I know, right? It's like he has some sick fetish for getting hurt." Natsumi said, "You think Sasuke's a masochist?" Naruto asked and she nodded, "That's the only way to explain why he's always hurt." "What about Anko? Isn't she into that stuff?" Natsumi asked and he sighed, "Sort of. Anko's more of a sadist." Naruto said, "I guess I can see that." Natsumi said, switching subjects now. "How's your training going with the Kekkai Genkai?" Naruto asked. "It's going great. Granny Tsunade said she'll help me with some jutsus next week. She thinks I'm ready for some more advanced ninjutsu now." Natsumi said, "I see. What about the other thing?" Naruto asked, I may have a problem with that." Natsumi said, "What do you mean?" Naruto asked, "Well, I was testing my limits with the chakra and it formed a cloak with one tail on it. What do you think it means?" Natsumi asked, "It could mean a number of things, but to be on the safe side, I suggest you don't use it for now." Naruto said, "What if I talk to it?" Natsumi asked, "Can you talk to it?" Naruto asked, "Yeah. He talked to me during the Chunin exams when you were fighting that guy." Natsumi said, "About what?" Naruto asked and she sighed. "He said that I'm only on this team because the Sharingan has the ability to control a tailed beast and that's why we were put on the same team." Natsumi said, "I see." Naruto said, "Is that true? Does the Sharingan have the ability to control a tailed beast?" Natsumi asked, "Yes." Naruto said, "So, you're only on my team to control me if I lose control?" Natsumi said and Naruto flicked her forehead, "I'm not on the team to control you if you lose control of the Nine-Tails chakra. We were already going to be on teams the moment our parents found out about us. Besides, I can just knock your ass out if you lose control or simply use a chakra suppressing seal on you." Naruto said, 1. Don't ever flick my forehead again. 2. He also said something about you going blind because you have a Manjikyu. Natsumi said, "While it's true that I do have my Manjikyu Sharingan unlocked, I barely use it. My eyesight is fine." Naruto said, "So you won't go blind then?" Natsumi asked, "Oh. I'll eventually go blind, but I'll be okay. I know how to deal with that." Kurenai and Anko know what to do when I go blind. You don't have to worry about it. Naruto said, if you say so. Look, there's Sakura. I should have known she'd be here already. Natsumi said, what did you expect? She's in love with him. Naruto said, hey, Pinky. We're here. Natsumi said, huh? Oh hey. I didn't expect you to be here so soon. Sakura said, oh? Why's that? Were you expecting some alone time with Sasuke? Natsumi asked and Sakura turned red. Shut up. Sakura said and opened Sasuke's door. Hey, duckbutt. Natsumi said, look, Sasuke. I brought you some apples. I just need to find that knife I had before. Sakura said, you've been here before? Naruto asked, yeah. He's been here for a couple of days now. Sakura said, here's the knife. If that was your way of trying to get us to leave, then you need help lying. You suck. Natsumi said and Sakura nervously laughed, oh. Silly me. Sakura said, ah. Look at you. Getting all flustered because Sasuke is in front of you. Natsumi said, why do you have to come in here and ruin everything? Will you knock it off already? Sakura asked and Sasuke looked at Natsumi as he remembered all the time she had to save him on missions. So, what exactly happened to you? Naruto asked. As he looked at Sasuke, he got his ass kicked. We fought some guy named Aoi Rokusho who claimed to have the sword of the second Hokage. Like I'd ever believe that bullshit. Natsumi said and Naruto just looked at her. You mean to tell me that you had a chance to retrieve the sword of the Thunder God and you didn't get it? Naruto asked, wait. He was telling the truth. Natsumi asked, yes. That sword belonged to the second Hokage. What happened to it? Naruto asked and Natsumi scratched her cheek. Well, I may or may not have destroyed it with a Rasengan. Natsumi said and Naruto sighed, should have known something like that would happen. Naruto said and they looked at Sasuke who smacked the plate of apple slices out of Sakura's hand. What the hell is your problem? Natsumi asked, Sasuke. Sakura said and he glared at Natsumi, what the fuck are you glaring at me for? Natsumi asked, you, Natsumi. Sasuke said, that's my fucking name. Natsumi said, I want you to fight me. Right now. Sasuke said, no. Granny Tsunade just healed you and I don't really feel like kicking your ass right now. We both know the outcome of our fights now and it's pointless to keep doing it. I've got bigger fish to fry and you're not one of them. I have no interest in fighting you anymore. Natsumi said and Sasuke was officially pissed off, shut up and fight me. Sasuke said and activated his Sharingan. Yup. Should have seen this one coming. Naruto thought, do you really think you saved me? I don't care if she's the fifth Hokage. You shouldn't have gotten her involved in this. Sasuke said, are you fucking stupid? You couldn't move a damn muscle. You should be thanking me for saving your ass. Natsumi said and Sasuke got in her face, what's the matter? Afraid you'll lose? Sasuke asked and Natsumi sighed, Sasuke, don't do this. Naruto, say something. Sakura pleaded, I think I'd rather have them sort this one out. Besides, this has been a long time coming between the two of them and you know that. Naruto said, Sasuke, I'm not fighting you while you're injured. Maybe if you were healed and 100%, but the answer is still no. Natsumi said and walked away, but turned around to catch a punch aimed at the back of her head. I said fight me. Sasuke said and Natsumi squeezed his fist making him wince, if you want your ass kicked that badly, then fine. After this I don't want to hear shit else about you challenging me. Natsumi said, follow me. Sasuke said and walked away with Natsumi following him. Naruto, do you really think they'll fight? Sakura asked, yes, but Sasuke better be careful what he asks for and control himself. Naruto said, what do you mean? Sakura asked, Sakura, if Sasuke doesn't calm down, he'll eventually challenge the wrong person and they won't hesitate to kill him. He's a flight risk and is already on thin ice with the village. Naruto said, he's about to fight Natsumi. Is she one of those people that will kill him? Sakura asked, and Naruto was silent for a minute. It's possible. There's only so much that a person can handle, and we both know Natsumi has a short fuse when it comes to her temper. I'm not saying she will during this fight, but it's always a possibility. Naruto said, maybe we should go make sure it doesn't get that far. Sakura said, and Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder. Let's go. Naruto said and vanished rooftop. So, you picked a spot where nobody can see you lose, huh? I promise I'll end this quickly. Natsumi said, and Sasuke grit his teeth. What was that, loser? Sasuke asked. I'm not a loser. If anybody is a loser, it's you. You were hailed as a prodigy, yet you were surpassed by me in a few months. This loser also made Chunin before you, and this loser has beaten you more times than you've beaten me. You're beneath me. Natsumi said, as Sakura and Naruto arrived. You have no business acting all high and mighty. Sasuke said, you must be looking in a mirror. You flaunted your strength every day, and now that I'm stronger, faster and smarter than you, you decide to act out. Now, put on your headband. Natsumi said, there's no reason for me to put it on because you won't be able to lay a single scratch on my forehead. Sasuke said, just for that I'm going to mark you with my clan symbol. Natsumi said, your clan is nothing compared to mine. Sasuke said, then prove it. Natsumi said, and Sasuke's eyes widened as she appeared behind him. How did? Sasuke didn't finish because Natsumi punched him right in the stomach, making him cough up some spit, and then she kicked him into the fence on the roof. Natsumi waited for Sasuke to get up, and he finally stood up. He jumped into the air and used the fireball jutsu. Natsumi countered with the water trumpet jutsu, creating a steam cloud that she took advantage of and used her sensing ability to get in close to Sasuke. She used the great breakthrough to blow away the steam and then smirked at Sasuke. You lose. Natsumi said. Naruto and Sakura, huh? How did he lose? He's still standing. Sakura said, look at his forehead. Naruto said, and she did, seeing a swirl on his forehead. That's the symbol of the Leaf Village. Does she really think the village is a clan? Sakura asked. The swirl is the clan symbol of the Uzumaki clan. Konoha used the symbol as a way to symbolize the friendship between both the Senju clan and Uzumaki clan. Naruto said, Senju and Uzumaki? Does that mean Natsumi and Lady Tsunade are related? Sakura asked. They're distant cousins. Tsunade's grandmother is Mito Uzumaki. Naruto said, how come this wasn't taught in school? Sakura asked, you really ask a lot of questions. Anyway, the history of the Uzumaki clan is in the restricted section of Konoha records, only accessible to 2 people. Natsumi and Tsunade, since it requires the blood of an Uzumaki to unseal. Natsumi knows more than I do since she spends more time with Tsunade than I do. Naruto said, and then they heard a familiar screeching noise. Sasuke and Natsumi, there's nothing on my forehead. I told you that you wouldn't be able to land a single scratch on it. Sasuke said, I didn't scratch you. Wipe your forehead. Natsumi said, and when he did, he saw ink on his forehead. How? Sasuke thought and glared at her. That's right. I marked you with the Uzumaki clan symbol. The steam was the perfect cover for me. This is over now that I've branded you and made you my bitch. Natsumi said. She turned and started to walk away, but then she heard the sound of the Chidori getting closer to her. She sighed and created a Rasengan in her hand to stop him, but both of them were thrown towards the giant water containers. Sasuke removed his hand and smirked when all of the water came out of a hole the size of his fist, while Natsumi only had a small stream coming from where her attack landed. What do you two think you're doing up here? That was a little intense for a sparring match, wasn't it? What's wrong with you two? Naruto, why didn't you stop them? You're more than capable of stopping them yourself. Kakashi said, you were nearby watching since you got here so quickly. Besides, Sasuke and Natsumi just used their strongest jutsus. Before that, Sasuke was getting his ass kicked. Up until the end, there wasn't any need for me to interfere, and when I was about to, you showed up. Naruto said, well, he has a point. I just thought he'd stop them before it got this far. I am surprised to see Natsumi using the Rasengan though. Master Jiraiya didn't tell me that when I saw him last time. Kakashi thought and then looked at Sasuke. Were you really going to kill her, Sasuke? You really need to watch your anger and that sense of superiority. That Chidori is not the size you'd aim at a comrade from the Leaf Village. When are you going to finally grow up, Sasuke? Kakashi asked, and Sasuke just jumped off the roof only to see the opposite side of the water container Natsumi hit was completely obliterated by her Rasengan. Damn it. Sasuke said and banged his fist against the wall before leaving. So much for teamwork. I'm guessing you finally got around to teaching her the Rasengan? Kakashi asked. It wasn't me. Naruto taught it to her. She's ready for it and I won't hold it against her for using it. That Chidori undoubtedly would have killed her, and we both know that can't happen. Jiraiya said, as he was leaned up against the water tank Kakashi was sitting on. Still, you should talk to her about the power it contains. Kakashi said, she only used enough chakra to cancel out the Chidori. At best both of them would have been thrown off the roof. Jiraiya said, well, we've got bigger problems. Naruto said, as he walked up to them, what's that? Jiraiya asked. 4 unknown chakra signatures just appeared in the village, but they hid their chakra as soon as they stepped into the village. Naruto said, great. You try to find them. I'll alert Tsunade and have her send some Umbu out to find them. Kakashi, talk to your student. Natsumi, come with me. Jiraiya said, and everyone nodded before vanishing. I guess I'll go see what Ino is up to. Sakura said. Few hours later Naruto looked around for whoever was in the village and had no kind of luck. He sent out shadow clones to try and speed up the search, but they couldn't find anything either. He thought about getting a member of the Inuzuka clan to help, but they only track based on scent and they had nothing on the enemy to use for their scent. His hunch was correct because he felt Sasuke's chakra spike and sensed the curse mark power as well. He teleported over there and saw Sasuke on the ground, while 4 people were surrounding him. He hid his presence and decided to listen to what they were saying. What does Orochimaru want with this guy anyway? I don't see anything special about him anyway. Kimimaro would have been much better. Oh well. You spent most of your life in a village like this place and you'll turn out mediocre at best. If you just keep playing ninja with all of your friends here, you'll continue to rot on the vine. Sakan said, you're acting like a fool. You should come with us. Lord Orochimaru offers you power. He said there'd be no point in taking you by force. You have to decide. Tayuya said, this is turning out to be a real pain. Are you in or out? What do you say, kid? If this runt makes me wait any longer, I'm gonna wring his little neck. Sakan, come and try it. Sasuke said, as his curse mark spread across his body, and then he attacked Sakan only to be kicked into a wall. Come on. You didn't think you're the only one Lord Orochimaru gave that to, did you? One shouldn't use the curse mark so recklessly, kid. Although it doesn't look like you have much of a handle on it, do you? If you unleash it for too long, the curse will eat away at your body. You're in the early stages of it, so it shouldn't sink its teeth into you too quickly, but when it spreads through your body, your former self will be gone. Never again to return. Sakan said, in exchange for the curse's power, you will be tethered to Lord Orochimaru. All semblance of freedom will be lost to you. To gain one thing, another must be left behind. What is your purpose in life? To stay here in this backwater village hiding with your little friends? Surely you haven't forgotten Itachi Uchiha. Tayuya said, you mustn't forget your purpose. Life in this village is little more than bondage for you. Sever your ties to this pathetic place. If you can do that, there will be no limit to the power you can wield. Remember your purpose. Sakan said, and the four members jumped away. Well, this just got a lot harder. Naruto thought and vanished. Tsunade's office. Kakashi, any word on the four unidentifiable people Naruto detected? Tsunade asked. No. It's like they just disappeared, as he said. I couldn't use the ninja hounds since we didn't have anything to smell. What about Master Jiraiya? Kakashi asked. He had to leave in the middle of his search. His spy network caught onto some ramblings about the Akatsuki. Have you heard from Naruto? Tsunade asked. No. I haven't talked to him since the search. Kakashi said, none of my umbu found anything either, and I had to spread them thin since a lot of them are out on missions. Tsunade said, and Naruto appeared in the office. We have a problem. Naruto said, what is it? Tsunade asked, I found those four people who came into the village and they're after Sasuke. Naruto said, why would they be after Sasuke? Tsunade asked, because they work for Orochimaru, and that's not all I found out. Naruto said, what else? Did you find out? Tsunade asked, there's levels to the curse mark and Sasuke's is only in the beginning stage. Orochimaru is promising him power. I didn't fight them because I could tell they each had a lot more power from their curse marks, and it wouldn't be good for me to fight them 4-on-1 if what they said is true about there being more levels. Naruto said, damn it. We're spread thin and I need both of you for separate missions that should have you back by tomorrow afternoon. How much time do you think we have before they make their next move? Tsunade asked, maybe a couple of hours at best. They left the decision up to Sasuke, but if he doesn't meet them, then they'll take him by force. Naruto said, and she rubbed her temples, damn it. Listen, Kakashi. You already know your mission. Get back as soon as possible. Tsunade said, yes, Lady Hokage. Kakashi said and vanished, what's my mission? Naruto asked, it's just a simple delivery to the hidden waterfall village. You'll meet with Shibuki to hand him an update on the information we know about the Akatsuki. After that you need to head back immediately or I'll send a Katsuyu slug to you. Tsunade said, what about Sasuke? You can't leave him unattended. Naruto said, I know. That's why I'll have a team of Chunin go watch his apartment until Kakashi arrives tomorrow. If anything should happen, I'll send a Katsuyu slug to inform you of any changes. Tsunade said, all right. Naruto said and vanished. Shizun. Tsunade yelled, yes, my lady? Shizun asked, as she came into the office, I need you to get 4 Chunin and I don't care if they're asleep. Get me the best we have. Tsunade said, yes ma'am. Shizun said and quickly left, I need a drink. Tsunade said Naruto. After summoning Dash, Naruto quickly flew to the waterfall village in less than 2 hours, but he was tired. He had to wait for Shibuki to meet him at the entrance, which was being guarded by hidden umbu members. After waiting for nearly an hour, Shibuki finally came out and escorted him into the village. The scroll was delivered and Shibuki in return gave them information on a possible Akatsuki member. When Naruto asked about Fu, Shibuki blushed a bit and told him she was at her usual hideout spot in the village. I know you're there, Fu. Naruto said and heard some giggling. Nice to see you again, Naruto. Fu said, as she jumped down to him, same. So, how's the village been for you? Naruto asked, it's been great ever since I helped defeat Suien and his little group of goons. I even made a few friends. Fu said, so, they aren't afraid of you anymore? Naruto asked, nope. I guess since they accepted Natsumi being a jinchuriki since she used tailed beast chakra to defeat Suien, they decided to give me a chance. I mean they even let me train with them now. Fu said, that's great. No problems with the 7 tails? Naruto asked and her stomach growled, sorry, but he doesn't like being called that. Fu said, then. What should I call him? Naruto asked and she held a fist out to him, bump fists with me. Fu said, why? Naruto asked, I'm gonna take you to meet him and let him judge you. Fu said, okay. Naruto said and bumped fists with her. Fu's mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes and was inside of Fu's mindscape. It was basically a wide open area filled with grass and bugs. There were some trees, but they were huge compared to the ones in the real world. Pretty sweet, right? Fu asked, yeah. How does your mind look like this? Naruto asked, well, when I was bonding with my fellow resident, I thought about what I would want my mind to look like and this happened. I guess it's only something a jinchuriki can do or somebody from the Yamanaka clan. Fu said, that's really interesting. Naruto said, follow me. Fu said and ran off, hang on. I don't know where I'm going. Naruto said and chased after her for about 5 minutes. Here we are. Fu said, as she stopped running, where exactly? Naruto asked, where my friend is, duh. Fu said and then Naruto heard wings flapping followed by a voice, Fu, who is this? The Seven Tails asked, this is my friend, Naruto. He's one of the people that helped defeat Suien a few months ago. Fu said, I see. A friend of yours is a friend of mine. I don't sense any ill intentions from him at all. Not even a little drop, which is rare in an Uchiha. The Seven Tails said, how do you know I was an Uchiha? Naruto asked, before I met Fu, I could still see and hear what she did. Plus, I saw your Sharingan in use. The Seven Tails said, I see. Naruto said, anyway, he's here because he doesn't know what to call you since you don't like being called Seven Tails. Fu said, I understand. My name is Lucky Seven Chome. Chome said, it's just Chome. He only introduces himself like that because 7 is a lucky number. Fu said, Naruto Uchiha Namikaze. Naruto said and bowed, alright, now that we've got that settled, let's go. Fu said, wait. I want to talk to Chome. I never know when I'll get to talk to a tailed beast again and this is the only time I can do it at the moment. Naruto said, what did you want to talk about? Chome asked, it's about a stone tablet that's in the Uchiha clan district. Naruto said, hop on. Excuse us for a moment, Fu. Chome said and flew off after Naruto jumped on his head. Naruto and Chome, why'd you fly us away from her? Naruto asked, because I have a feeling I know what you want to talk about and she's not ready to hear it yet. Chome said, I understand. There's not much I can read on the stone tablet, but I read some of it. Naruto said, what do you want to know about? Chome asked, when I was reading the stone tablet, it said something about a god seeking stability was divided into yin and yang, but when these two came together you obtain all things in creation. The only person I could think of was the Sage of Six Paths, but nobody really knows anything about him. Do you know about him or what that means? Naruto asked and Chome nodded, yes. The Sage of Six Paths as you call him is my father. He created the 9-tailed beasts after using his powers to split the 10 tails into 9 separate bodies. Chome said, how did he manage to split the 10 tails? Wouldn't the 10 tails be way too powerful for him? Naruto asked, yes, but after the Sage of Six Paths and his brother defeated the 10 tails, the Sage of Six Paths sealed the 10 tails into his own body, becoming a jinchuriki. After splitting up the 10 tails and creating the tailed beasts, the Sage of Six Paths then used a jutsu known as planetary devastation to seal the 10 tails husk away and thus creating the moon. Chome said, the Sage of Six Paths has a brother and created the moon? Naruto asked, yes. His brother was known as Himura Otsutsuki. They are the sons of Kagaya Otsutsuki who merged with something known as the God Tree and became the 10 Tails. Himura Otsutsuki lived on the moon for the rest of his life where he would eventually pass away. Hagoromo Otsutsuki had 2 sons named Indra and Azura. Having been around for as long as I have, I can tell which reincarnate you are, but the difference is that I can tell you don't hold his thirst for power. Chome said, reincarnate, huh? Which one am I? Naruto asked, you are the reincarnation of Indra. However, your immense potential is far greater than his and Madara Uchiha, who was also a reincarnation of Indra. Chomei said, so if me and Madara were reincarnates of Indra, then that must mean Asura has a reincarnate as well. From the way that Madara was, I can guess Indra was the bad guy, as we would say, and Asura was the good guy. So, that would make Hashirama Senju a reincarnation of Asura and Natsumi as well. I don't get it though. It's like the reincarnates are all from one side of the family for Indra and Asura. Naruto said, you are correct and quite smart for your age if you were able to figure that out. Now, as for your assumption about the reincarnates being from each side of the family, you are right. Hagoromo's bloodline was divided into the descendants of his two children, which would eventually form the Senju clan, and through distant relations, the Uzumaki clan from Asura and the Uchiha clan from Indra. Chomei said, and Naruto nodded, can you tell me what the power of Sasra is? The tablet said that when someone who possesses the power of Sasra approaches the moon, an eye will open that is reflected on the moon to grant the eternal dream. Naruto said, the power of Sasra is known as the outer path and is used to revive the dead. However, the outer path can only be used by a dojutsu that has not been seen since the time of the Sage of Six Paths, so you do not have to worry about that. The eternal dream is just a powerful genjutsu that traps you in a dream forever. Chomei said, that's what the infinite Tsukuyomi is. An eternal dream like an unbreakable genjutsu. Naruto said. Correct, but the infinite Tsukuyomi can be undone when the powers of Yin and Yang come together. Chomei said, then why is the tablet saying that the infinite Tsukuyomi will save the Uchiha clan? Naruto asked, that is false information. What else is on the tablet that you can see? Chomei asked, other than what I told you, it just talks about the Sharingan, the Manjikyu Sharingan, its abilities and the way you must unlock it, which I already know is a complete lie. Naruto said, how do you figure that? Chomei asked, the abilities of the Sharingan and Manjikyu Sharingan are true since I have some of them, but the way to unlock the Manjikyu is false. It said that in order to unlock your Manjikyu Sharingan, you need to kill your best friend. My mother and I didn't unlock ours like that. She unlocked hers after her best friend died, and I unlocked mine after I watched my mom die. Naruto said, then it seems someone or something has been manipulating this stone tablet. Be careful looking into it though. We don't know what or who is doing it. Chomei said, yeah. Wait, I have two more questions. Naruto said, what is it? Chomei asked, what about the descendants of Hamura? Plus who is Hagoromo and Hamura's father? Naruto asked. Hamura's bloodline on Earth continued, which eventually would become the Hyuga clan, and the Byakugan was also passed down to them. As for who their father is, he is known as Tenji. However, that is a story for another time. I can sense for trying to communicate with you in the real world. Farewell, Naruto Uchiha. Chomei said, same, and let Fu know that she needs to get stronger. Tell her to be aware of the Akatsuki. They walk around with black cloaks with red clouds on them. They're dangerous and they want the tailed beasts for something. Naruto said and disappeared. Real world. Hello. Fu yelled into his ear, damn it. I'm up. Naruto said, finally. A slug is here waiting for you. Fu said, and Naruto looked around. Man, what time is it? Naruto asked. It's morning time. We fell asleep with our fists connected. Fu said, and Naruto nodded. Lady Katsuyu, what did you need? Naruto asked. Lady Tsunade wants you to head back to the village immediately. Sasuke Uchiha killed his Chunin guards, knocked out Sakura Haruno and fled the village a few hours ago. Katsuyu said and went up in smoke. Damn it. Fu, I'll talk to you again, alright? Naruto asked. Sure. Fu said and gave him a fist bump. Make sure you keep on training. Naruto said and vanished. Naruto quickly left the waterfall village and had Dash take him back to Konoha as quickly as he could. He got there in an hour on Dash, and after talking to Tsunade about the problem, he was sent out with the medical corps. He saw Choji first and his condition was critical, but the medical corps quickly took him back to the village. Niji was next and he was in even worse condition than Choji as he was nearly stabbed through the heart. He couldn't find Kiba, but felt his chakra heading back towards the village. He heard the sound of trees breaking and headed in that direction. When he arrived, he saw Shikamaru there with Temari and the same redhead from the other day that was after Sasuke, but the red-haired girl was dead underneath some trees. Shikamaru. Naruto said, as he landed next to him, "Hey, Naruto." Shikamaru said, "Hello." Temari said, "What happened here?" Naruto asked, "Crybaby here needed some help. The Leaf Village called us to help them out. I didn't see anybody else though, but Kankuro and Gaara are both here as well." Temari said, "These guys are insane. They have the same mark as Sasuke, but theirs is a lot stronger than his. There's a fifth member that Natsumi went after since he had the barrel containing Sasuke and I can tell he's stronger than all of them combined." Shikamaru said, "I'll go after her. You two head back to the village. If I see Gaara, I'll tell him the same." Naruto said, but then they felt an immense amount of chakra that Naruto and Temari recognized. "What the hell is that?" Shikamaru asked and the sky turned black in the distance. "Get back to the village. I'll get Natsumi. Right now, neither of you would stand a chance if that's what I think it is. Tell Tsunade to get a room ready for Natsumi and Sasuke." Naruto said and vanished. Naruto was running through the forest as fast as he could and with each step he felt the chakra getting stronger. Along the way he passed Gaara and Rock Lee telling them to head back to the village. He was sent flying back when a huge gust of wind from the direction he was going blew him back. He grit his teeth and then ran again hoping to make it in time. Just as he almost reached the Valley of End, an explosion happened. Valley of End. Natsumi and Sasuke were both battling it out while Sasuke was using the power of the curse mark. Natsumi was using a full tail of the Nine Tails chakra. Natsumi gave up trying to reason with him so now she was fighting him to the death like he wanted. Natsumi just looked at Sasuke as he started to transform thanks to his curse mark. His skin turned dark gray, his hair grew longer and turned dark blue. His eyes also turned dark gray, but his Sharingan was still active. Natsumi charged at him and grabbed him by his face before dragging him across the wall of the Valley of End. They stopped and the Natsumi was thrown away by something. She looked up and saw that he grew webbed claw-shaped wings from his back. Natsumi felt the power coming from him and knew she needed more. She drew out another tail of the Nine Tails chakra and the ground underneath her caved in a bit. Sasuke went through hand signs and Natsumi watched on as the Chidori he created turned black due to the influence of the curse mark. Natsumi held her hand out and created a Rasengan in her hand that turned purple thanks to the influence of the Nine Tails chakra. Sasuke flew at Natsumi ready to strike with his Chidori and Natsumi jumped towards him with her Rasengan. Their jutsus collided causing an explosion and in that brief moment, Sasuke went to stab Natsumi in her heart, but she managed to only have him hit her shoulder. Natsumi on the other hand was just going to knock him out, but then she realized Sasuke is too far gone to be saved. So with a heavy heart, she gave him an apologetic look before she created another Rasengan and tore through his chest where his heart was at killing him. Storm clouds formed and it started raining while Natsumi just fell to her knees looking at Sasuke's lifeless body on the ground. She started crying and closed his eyes. Up until Sasuke ran into Orochimaru, he was starting to come around and she thought they were becoming friends. Their spars had a friendly vibe to them while the need to prove themselves to one another about who was better than the other. He even cracked a smirk a few times at some of her jokes. The more she thought about it, the harder she cried. She was so distraught that she didn't know somebody was behind her until she felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned around and saw that it was Naruto standing there. "Naruto, I know." Naruto said. She just jumped into his arms and cried for as long as she needed to before she eventually passed out due to exhaustion. Naruto pulled out a scroll and sealed Sasuke's body away before placing Natsumi on his back. He watched as the rain completely washed away Sasuke's blood before leaving. On his way back he met up with some of the medical corps who were headed in that direction. "Naruto, what's Natsumi's condition?" a med ninja asked. "She'll pull through. She has a shoulder wound, but she's healing up as we speak. I'll still take her to the hospital though," Naruto said, and he nodded. "What about Sasuke Uchiha? Where is he?" the med ninja asked, and Naruto stayed silent before switching subjects. "How is everyone else?" Naruto asked. "They're all in the hospital for emergency treatment. Shikamaru Nara has minor injuries, Kiba's injuries are more serious, not life-threatening. Niji Hyuga and Choji Akimichi are in serious condition. At this point there's no telling what could happen," the med ninja said. Konoha Hospital. Naruto arrived at the hospital and Natsumi was immediately taken into the ICU for treatment. Naruto went to the waiting area where he saw Temari and Shikamaru, who had his finger wrapped up. Naruto sat down on the floor against the wall and sighed before putting his head against the wall. He looked up when he felt a hand on his shoulder and saw Temari giving him a smile. "Come sit on the bench. The floor is uncomfortable," Temari said, and he nodded before sitting next to her. "I'm surprised to see you at the hospital. I figured you'd be off in a hotel or something," Naruto said. "I had to make sure the crybaby got back safe." "Shikamaru, there's no point in making yourself crazy, you know. Don't you remember your psychological training? With every mission comes sacrifice," Temari said. "If she's trying to cheer him up, she's doing a horrible job." Naruto thought, training and reality are two different things. "I thought I knew about missions. I thought I knew what it meant to be a shinobi. Now after this mission, my first mission as squad leader. Only one thing is clear, I'm just not cut out to be a shinobi." Shikamaru said. "So you're giving up because your friends came back injured on a mission? What the hell did you think would happen on an S-rank mission? I've been on plenty of high-ranked missions and trust me, what you're going through now isn't even close to what I've seen out there. All of your friends made it back alive. 2 of them are fighting for their lives right now, but they'll make it. Meanwhile the friends I've gained never had the chance to make it back to the village, and you don't see me moping around like a fragile little boy. Get your shit together. You know damn well you aren't quitting being a shinobi, because the instant you try to resign over this mission you'll get denied, and your mother also wouldn't allow you to quit." Naruto said. "I should have done more, but I didn't have the strength. It's all my fault." Shikamaru said. "What? Are you afraid you might get hurt next time? Stop being a baby and man up. Go train instead of watching the clouds all the time with your lazy ass so something like this won't happen next time. That's the second girl that kicked your ass in a fight and I'm the first one. You suck right now, but that doesn't mean you can't change that." Temari said, and Shikamaru walked away only to stop when his father said something. "Shikamaru, a girl disrespects you like that and you just walk away?" Shikaku asked. "You bet I do. Standing around arguing is not my thing. It's something girls like to do." Shikamaru said. "Then what are you? You're not a man, that's for sure. As far as I can see, you're nothing but a coward. You think if you quit the missions will stop? Someone's gotta do it. Your comrades will be sent out again on other missions with someone else leading them. They'll face the same risks, and like Naruto said, some of them might not make it. Ones you might have saved if you'd been there to lead them. How are you going to feel then? You've got a chance to reflect on your mistakes and learn from them. Use your failures to make yourself a better leader. You won't help your friends by running away. Instead you should be trying to make yourself stronger for their sake. That way the next mission goes perfectly and everyone gets back safe. The choice is simple. You're either a leader or a coward. So, which are you?" Shikaku asked, and the Tsunade came out of the ICU. "Choji is going to be just fine. The antidote worked. The extermination of cells caused by the effect of the pills has been nullified. I couldn't have done it without your help, Shikaku. The Nara clan's secret medicinal preparation manual was very useful. The work that went into that manual, the years of research is quite impressive to say the least. Tsunade said thank you. Shikaku said and Shizun came running up to them. Lady Tsunade. Niji Hyuga is safe, his condition has stabilized and there's more. I heard Natsumi arrived and has been examined. Natsumi's injuries are serious, but not life-threatening. She's going to be okay. Shizun said, Shikamaru, your mission was a failure. Tsunade said, no, it wasn't. Naruto said, what do you mean? Tsunade asked, the mission was successful. Naruto said and tossed her a scroll, what's this? Tsunade asked, his body. Naruto said and everyone's eyes went wide, you killed him? Tsunade asked, no. Natsumi did. I got there a few seconds late. Naruto said and she sighed, I guess it wasn't a failure after all. Tsunade said, depending on how you look at it. Naruto said and stood up, where are you going? Tsunade asked, home. I'm tired and Natsumi isn't light. Naruto said, you should go see her. Tsunade said, she needs time alone right now. I'll see her in the morning. Naruto said and walked away, hang on. I need to pick up my fan from the Chunin exams. I'll walk with you. Temari said and they left. Meanwhile in River Country, a black-haired male with 2 lines on his face wearing the Akatsuki cloak was standing outside as it started to rain and his partner was standing behind him. If it weren't for the rain hitting his face, you could see tears falling from the corners of his eyes. A few days went by since the Sasuke retrieval mission and everyone was released from the hospital. Natsumi stayed by herself in her apartment and refused to let anybody see her since she knew all they wanted to talk about was the mission. While she was in the hospital, Shikamaru, Ino, Sakura, Niji, Kiba and Choji came by to see her, but she didn't say much to them. News spread about the mission around the village and surprisingly nobody hated Natsumi for her actions given that Sasuke killed the Chunin that were guarding him. Naruto decided to give her a few extra days to herself as the others told him how she was at the moment and he respected her wish to be left alone. However, Naruto decided to cheer her up a bit and made a pit stop to the Hyuga compound for her surprise. The people in the village were surprised to see a Hyuga and an Uchiha walking together, but they realized it was Naruto. He made it abundantly clear that he doesn't care about some silly clan rivalry. He made it to Natsumi's apartment building and went up to her apartment. Open up, Natsumi. I know you're in there. Naruto said and knocked on the door, go away. I don't want to be bothered right now. Natsumi said, come on. I've brought a gift for you. It's something to make you feel better. Naruto said, is it ramen? Natsumi asked, it's better than ramen. Open up or I'll just use the key you let me have. Naruto said and he heard her groan, fine. Natsumi said and opened the door, yo. Naruto said and gave her a 2-finger surprise, I'm here. What's the surprise? Natsumi asked and trailed off as she saw the person next to Naruto. Natsumi, I'm sure you know who this is. Naruto said and she just stood there with her mouth open, I'm Hiroshi Hyuga. Pleasure to meet you. Hiroshi said and Natsumi screamed, Naruto, what the hell? I'll be right back. I have to face my teeth and brush my wash. Natsumi said and slammed the door, is she always like that? Hiroshi asked, you could say that. Naruto said and they heard crashing followed by swear words, she has quite the mouth on her. Hiroshi said, that she does. So, are you a ninja? Naruto asked, no. I was in your class for a bit, but I pulled out due to an injury which would prohibit me from fighting at my best. Now, I just help train some of the Hyuga members and take care of the compound. Hiroshi said, I thought that if you were a trainer in the side branch of the Hyuga clan you aren't given the responsibilities of a caretaker. Naruto said, I'm not, but I have nothing else to do with my free time, so it's the least I can do. Hiroshi said, you should hang out with the Konoha genin and see if Tsunade can fix your injury if you want to become a ninja again. She fixed Rock Lee and I doubt your injury is as bad as his. Naruto said, and the door swung open. Well, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. Please come in. Natsumi said, thank you. I must say your hair is very vibrant. Hiroshi said, as he entered the apartment. Thank you. Natsumi said and blushed, you're welcome. Naruto and was about to go in the apartment, but she stopped him. Leave. Natsumi said, and he raised an eyebrow. Why? Naruto asked, because you're going to embarrass me. This is the first time I've said anything to him. Natsumi said and glanced at him as he was looking at her flowers. This is the first time you're talking to him and you're worried about me embarrassing you? Did you forget what you looked like when you opened the door? Naruto asked. Naruto, please. Natsumi said and gave him a pleasing look. Just answer my question. Are you feeling better about the mission? Naruto asked and she looked back at Hiroshi. I think I'm feeling better now. Natsumi said, are you going to confess your love to him? Naruto asked and she blushed hard. Will you shut up? Natsumi asked, not a chance. Payback. Hey, Hiroshi. Naruto said and Natsumi's eyes widened. Yes, Naruto? Hiroshi asked, did you know that Natsumi loves MMPHH? Naruto said, but Natsumi covered his mouth and gave a nervous laugh. I love flowers, as you can tell. Natsumi said and glared at Naruto, who gave her an annoying eye smile. Quite the collection you have here. However, you should move them closer to the window for more sunlight. Hiroshi said and she nodded before closing the door. Naruto. What the fuck? Natsumi asked. What? I didn't do anything. Naruto said, don't give me that shit. Natsumi said, I thought you'd be happy to see your boyfriend. Naruto said and she glared at him. He's not my boyfriend. Natsumi said and her eyes went wide. Now you see how it feels. Naruto said, okay. Fine. I'll stop teasing you about Temari. Can you please leave? Natsumi asked. Fine, but maybe you should talk to him about what's going on. You might feel better. Naruto said and she sighed. I don't know. Did you ever talk to Temari about something like this? Natsumi asked. Yeah. One of my missions as a Chunin turned into an S-rank mission and I was the only person to make it back alive. I can't go into details, but I talked to her about it and she made me feel better. Naruto said, I guess I'll give it a try. Wait. Do you think he likes me? Natsumi asked, given how he didn't run away from you when you answered the door and then complimented you on your hair, it's a possibility. Naruto said, nice. Wait, do you even like Temari? Natsumi asked, yes. Naruto said, then why aren't you together? Did you even kiss her? Natsumi asked, I've only kissed her on the cheek goodbye and we're not together because she can't really leave the village due to them not having a current Kazekage, so everything is right over there right now. She was barely able to come to the rescue mission. Naruto said, so you're saying that you won't be able to see her is the reason why you two are not together? Natsumi asked, yup. Naruto said, then how is it any different with me and Hiroshi? Natsumi asked, because you both are in the same village and you can visit each other whenever you want. Now, go inside. Naruto said and she gave him a hug. Thank you. Natsumi said and Naruto hugged her back. For what? Naruto asked. For being a great big brother for all these years. Natsumi said, you're welcome. Naruto said and they broke the hug. I'll see you later. Natsumi said and Naruto walked away, but not before embarrassing her. Natsumi has a boyfriend. Naruto yelled and vanished, making her scream, you fucking asshole. Natsumi yelled and ran into her apartment. Tsunade's office. Mission accomplished. Naruto said, as he appeared in the office, what mission? Shizun asked. I had him get Natsumi to stop moping around in her apartment. What did you do? Tsunade asked, Hiroshi is over there. Naruto said, wait a minute. You mean Hiroshi Hyuga? The boy she has a huge crush on? Shizune asked, yup. That's the one. Naruto said, what did she do? Tsunade asked, she freaked out since she looked like shit. Naruto said, you just randomly showed up, didn't you? Shizune asked, yup. I sure did. She'll thank me later. Naruto said, if you say so. Now, since you're here, I think it's best that I let you know about your little trip. Tsunade said, what about it? Naruto asked, instead of the 6 months that was originally planned, you'll be there for the same amount of time Natsumi is gone. Tsunade said, why? I thought 6 months was all the time they needed. Naruto said, it was, but somebody had been supplying the Mizukige's forces and I need you to stay there a bit longer. Tsunade said, that's an extra 2 years. I highly doubt that counts as a bit longer. Naruto said, true, but I know you can do it. If I didn't believe you could, then I wouldn't be sending you there. Which reminds me. Your mission file. Tsunade said, what about it? Naruto asked, I was reading it since you're about to leave on a long-term mission and I noticed that your missions on capture or kill, all of them have been captured on them. Why is that? Tsunade asked, because I only kill if I have to. The enemy was already defeated and killing them would just be going too far. Besides, all of the people I had to capture were sent to blood prison after their chakra was sealed away. Naruto said, yes, but I figured some of them would be killed given their history. Tsunade said, well, there's already too much blood spilled in the world. I try not to add to it, but sometimes I'm left with no choice. Naruto said, Naruto, when was your first kill? Shizune asked and he sighed, I was 7 and Danzo sent 2 of his root umbu after me. They had me, but I managed to kill them. Naruto said, how? Tsunade asked, yeah. You were so young. Shizune said, my Sharingan. Naruto said, you must have been training hard then if your Sharingan was able to keep up with them. Tsunade said, I mastered my Sharingan when I was 7. Naruto said, and they were shocked, did you say 7? Shizune asked, yes. Naruto said, that's unheard of. I know Itachi mastered his Sharingan at 8, but 7 is even more of a shocker. Tsunade said, not really. Shisui mastered his Sharingan at 7, but I've got him beat by a few months. Naruto said, I see. Shizune said, well, I need to get going. I've got some training to do. Naruto said, right. Oh yeah. If you see Natsumi, make sure you tease her for me. Tsunade said, you got it. Naruto said and vanished in a swirl of fire that was cool. Shizune mumbled, it's flashy. Just like his father. Tsunade said Naruto. After leaving Tsunade's office, Naruto decided to walk around the village a bit and see what there was to do. He was greeted by civilians and ninja during his walk and he kindly replied to them with a wave. It wasn't much of a secret that most civilians preferred him over Sasuke due to him being respectful and not full of himself. Naruto was walking around when he found himself in front of Kurenai and Anko's apartment building. He shrugged and went to see if one of them were home. He stopped by Kurenai's first, she wasn't home, so he went to Anko's place and heard her screaming in pain. He quickly went to her room and saw she was sweating a lot in her sleep with a pained look on her face. Anko! Anko, wake up! Naruto said and shook her, making her jump up while breathing heavily. Naruto? Anko asked and held her neck in pain. Yeah. Same nightmare again? Naruto asked as he used some medical ninjutsu to relieve her. Pain the curse mark was causing her. Yeah. The same one over and over again. I'm in pain on the ground from the curse mark, and he just walks away doing his usual evil laugh. Anko said and laid back down. Need me to stay for the night or get Irika? Naruto asked. No. I'll be fine. Anko said, as she looked out of the window since it started to rain, then how about I cook you some food? Red bean soup and dango. Your favorite. Naruto said, I'm not really hungry. I just want this nightmare to end. Anko said, maybe it's still occurring because you need closure about the situation. Naruto said, and she held a kunai to this throat, I'm fine. I don't need any closure. Anko said, and Naruto calmly lowered the kunai. Anko, I've known you since I was a baby. I can tell when you're lying about something. This nightmare keeps happening because you still feel betrayed by Orochimaru. Is it the fact that he abandoned you or the reason he gave for abandoning you? Naruto asked, neither. I want to know why he didn't kill me that day. I was right there, lying helplessly on the ground, and I was an easy kill. Why didn't he do it? Anko asked, because you're valuable to him. Naruto said, he fucking left me there to die. He said I lacked the drive after he gave me this curse mark. Valuable to him, my ass. Anko said, think about it. You told me that he tested 10 subjects including you with the curse mark, right? Naruto asked, yeah. What about it? Anko asked, you were the only one to survive. I'm guessing he had been expecting the curse seal experiment to fail and was really surprised that you lived. It isn't your fault, but you're the reason he's able to give out so many curse marks like he did with the group that came after Sasuke, and I'm willing to bet that he has many more people with the curse mark. Naruto said, that doesn't make any sense. If I was so valuable to him, he wouldn't have abandoned me. Anko said, you have a point, but him not killing you had nothing to do with you seeming too weak for him. It was basically a giant middle finger to the people who made fun of him because of his desire to become immortal. You being alive showed them that he had a breakthrough, albeit a small one, in his quest for immortality. He basically used you as living proof that he can become immortal. Another thing, him abandoning you must have been because you were always strong-willed. Even to this day you refuse to use the curse mark even though it's fully functional and causing you pain. Naruto said, and she sighed, I guess it makes sense, but I have to live with this thing forever. Anko said, well, not really. Naruto said, what do you mean? Anko asked, remember when I was 5 and I first saw the curse mark, then you explained to me what it does and its purpose? Naruto asked, yeah. Anko said, well, I've been looking into it over the years and I may or may not have come into your apartment while you were sleeping to look into it some more. Naruto said, and she interrupted him, you do realize I sleep completely naked at night, right? Anko asked, yeah, but I only need to see your shoulder and I didn't touch anything. Anyway, the seal can be removed from what I can tell, but it's extremely dangerous. Naruto said, how? Tell me. Anko said, and shook him, causing her cover to fall off her chest, please cover yourself up. I don't want to see that. Naruto said, and she did, it's not like you haven't seen them before. Anko said, that's besides the point. Anyway, inside that seal is something evil. Although yours isn't to the level like the other ones we recently saw, it's still just as dangerous if released. Naruto said, what do you mean? Anko asked, that cursed seal has 3 components. One of them is his sinister chakra, which is how he's able to track curse mark users so easily if it isn't sealed off. The second component is what I'm guessing your seal doesn't have, which is supposed to be filled with some kind of DNA to transform you, and the third component is the part that makes it so dangerous. Naruto said, what's that? Anko asked, he basically placed a piece of his soul inside of the curse mark. Naruto said, what? Anko yelled, it's true. It was the only logical thing to do. If the curse mark is supposed to be placed on people he wants to use to revive himself after death, his soul would need to be there for the seal to work how he wants it to. The question of how he managed to seal abortion of his souls into that is a completely different problem. Naruto said, wait, so if we were to remove the seal, then what would that mean for his soul? Anko asked, it means we'll have more than one Orochimaru to deal with, and I highly doubt we want that. There's only one way to remove that seal and it's the evil unsealing jutsu. Naruto said, that sucks. The only way to remove it will cause more chaos. Anko said, well, there is another way for it to get removed safely, but you'll slap me if I tell you. Naruto said, tell me. Anko said, well, you'll have to activate the curse mark for a bit and I can use my chakra to force my consciousness inside of the seal and defeat the Orochimaru that's in there. Naruto said, and Anko looked at him before slapping him as hard as she possibly could, are you fucking nuts? There's no way in hell I'm letting you do that. Anko said, just hear me out. You'll be able to tell if I'm in danger and you can stop using the curse mark which will force me out. The plus side of this means the seal can be safely removed and there's a high chance that killing this portion of Orochimaru's soul can cause him excruciating pain. Naruto said, and she sighed, Naruto, I can't. What would Kurenai think if she heard about this stupid plan of yours? Anko asked, I'd slap him just like you did. A voice said, and they saw Kurenai standing there, shit. Naruto mumbled, that's right. Besides me, think about Natsumi and Temari. They'd be distraught if you did that. And died. Kurenai said, and Naruto thought about it for a bit until he thought of something, I got it. Naruto said, got what? Kurenai asked, a way to fix this and get that mark off of her after destroying the soul. Naruto said, explain. Anko said, okay, remember when I told you that Fu took me into her mindscape to talk to the seven-tailed beast? Naruto asked, yeah, and you refused to tell us what you talked about. Kurenai said, I have my reasons. Anyway, what if we do the same thing? Technically speaking, Anko is kind of like a jinchuriki with that seal on her. She has the soul of something sealed inside of it and she has the ability to use its power, but she doesn't. While you're sleeping, have you ever woken up in a weird space and you were able to control what it looked like? Naruto asked, yeah. After I had got the curse mark I was out for a few days and I was in a dark space that turned into a torture chamber when I thought of killing Orochimaru. Anko said, if you can manage to do that, then you'll meet me in the seal. Together we can take on the part of Orochimaru's soul that's inside that curse mark. While the soul may have a form, you can control what happens inside of it and help me destroy the soul. You can make it so he can't move and quickly destroy him, or you can torture him for as long as you'd like. Naruto said, that seems kind of far-fetched to me. How would the three of us even get in the seal if your hand has to be in contact with the seal? Kurenai asked, well, you'd have to stay out here and watch us. If either of us show any signs of danger, wake Anko up. She can force me out of the seal and we'll be back in the real world. Naruto said, and Kurenai looked at Anko, what do you say? It's your call. Kurenai said, would it really work? Anko asked, I'm 65% sure. Naruto said, what if it doesn't? Anko asked, I'll tell you where Irika hides the extra dango, play kunai tag with you and I'll let you tell Temari an embarrassing story about me. Naruto said, I want something more. Anko said, what? Naruto asked, you have to pay for my dango for the next 3 years. Anko said, and Naruto was silent, you should have known that coming. Kurenai said, I know, but I'm leaving for nearly 3 years soon. Naruto said, what? Kurenai asked, I have a mission and I'll be gone for 2.5 years. I can't tell you what it is, but how about I leave you in charge of my money if this doesn't work and you can buy as much dango as you'd like until I get back? Naruto asked, deal, but we're talking about that mission when this is over. Anko said, and he nodded, what do you need us to do? Kurenai asked, I need Anko to activate the curse mark just a bit and then go into her mind. She should be able to feel my chakra being forced into the seal so she can pull my consciousness in there. All you need to do is supervise us really and pull us out if any signs of danger begin to show. Naruto said, and they nodded. Okay. Let's do it. Anko said and activated her curse mark as Naruto placed a hand on it. Anko's mindscape. Anko opened her eyes and saw that she was in a torture room of sorts. Everything in here is what she dreamed of torturing Orochimaru with, and it made her smile as she ran her hands across all of the equipment inside. She felt Naruto's chakra and sort of grabbed it, then he appeared next to her. "I guess it works." Anko said, "Yeah. What is all of this stuff?" Naruto asked, as he looked around. "My equipment I want to torture Orochimaru with." Anko said, "So you want to torture him?" Naruto asked, "I did, but I want this damn seal off as soon as possible." Anko said, and then they heard an evil chuckle. "What a wonderful surprise, Anko. Look at how much you've grown. It's been quite some time since I last saw you." Orochimaru said, "Cut the shit." Anko said, "Anko, this Orochimaru doesn't know what's going on because your seal was blocked off." Naruto whispered and she nodded. "So he doesn't know about anything after that day?" Anko asked, "Apparently not. His chakra levels are low as well, so he's obviously a lot weaker than the current Orochimaru." Naruto said, "I want to watch him burn alive and scream." Anko said, and suddenly Orochimaru burst into flames, making him scream. "Well, there you go." Naruto said, "I wonder what else I can do." Anko said, while Orochimaru was burning to death, Anko made sure to torture him as much as she could. His arms were ripped off, reattached and then ripped again. He was electrocuted multiple times, stabbed all over his body. She even castrated him a couple of times, making Naruto cover his man parts. While all of this was going on, Anko was laughing and crying at the same time as she got her aggression out on him. Years and years of torture of her not being able to get her hands on him finally came to fruition. Eventually the soul of Orochimaru was no more, as it was burned to ashes, and the best part about this was that Orochimaru in real life was screaming at the top of his lungs as his body was in immense pain right now. Anko collapsed to the floor and started to cry, so Naruto just gave her a hug as she let out all of her emotions. "Thank you," Anko said and wiped her face. "Anytime." "Ready to go?" Naruto asked. "Just a second." Anko said, and then 9 tombstones appeared before she was ready to leave. "What are those for?" Naruto asked. "The 9 other people who died during that experiment. I may not be able to come back here after the seal is gone, but at least I'll always know they're here." Anko said, and they faded away. "Real world, they've been like this for how long?" Iruka asked, as he came to see Anko after his class was over with. "About an hour." Kurenai said, "Is she crying and smiling at the same time?" Iruka asked. "Yup. I guess it worked." Kurenai said, and then Anko opened her eyes, followed by Naruto. "Finally." Anko said, "Did it work?" Kurenai asked. "Yup. It's gone. Just one more thing to do." Naruto said, and did the evil unsealing method on the curse mark, then watched it burn away. "How does it look?" Anko asked. "Looks like you never even had a curse mark to begin with." Kurenai said, and Anko pulled her in for a hug. "It's about time I got that shit off of me, huh? Anko asked. "Yes, it is. Now, not that I don't appreciate the hug, but can you at least put some clothes on first?" Kurenai said, and Anko laughed. "Not happening. Iruka is here. The 2 of you have to leave." Anko said and pulled Iruka into a kiss. "I'm out." Naruto said and vanished. 1 month later, time went by and Naruto was getting ready to leave for Kiri in a few days. He and Natsumi wanted to get some more missions, and so Tsunade sent them out on a few B-rank missions to keep them from bothering her. Natsumi was in a good mood because she spent every second she was in the village with Hiroshi, and Naruto teased her for payback. Right now Naruto and Natsumi were in Tsunade's office after returning from their last mission. Mission accomplished. Natsumi said, "Did the client get there safely?" Tsunade asked, "Define safe." Naruto said, "What did you 2 do?" Tsunade asked, "In our defense, the guy was an asshole." Natsumi said, "What did you do?" Tsunade asked, "Wait a minute. It wasn't me this time." Natsumi said, "I find that hard to believe." Tsunade said, "She's not lying." Naruto said, "You did it?" You're like the most level-headed person here next to Kakashi. Tsunade said, he had it coming. He kept bragging about being rich and that he could kick my ass. Simply put, he wanted to fight and got his ass handed to him. Naruto said, how bad was it? Tsunade asked, he won't be eating anything for a few weeks. Naruto broke his jaw in multiple places. Natsumi said, Naruto. Tsunade said, yeah. Yeah. Don't harm the client. I know, but rules say we must obey the client and I did. I technically didn't do anything wrong. Naruto said and Tsunade sighed, fine. Tsunade said and Shizun came bursting into the office, Lady Tsunade. It's an urgent message from Suna. Shizun said and gave her scroll, I see. Natsumi, Naruto. I have one last mission before the two of you leave for your respective journeys. Tsunade said, you're leaving? Where are you going? Natsumi asked, it's not important. Naruto said and Natsumi looked at him, bullshit. Natsumi said, Natsumi. That's enough. I want the two of you to gather a team and head to Gaara. Naruto's a censor so I'm sure he can find them. It's Gaara, Temari and Kankuro. Four ninjas from the village of artisans have kidnapped a girl who is Gaara's student. It's clear that they're after Gaara, but we don't know what for. They challenged Gaara and took off. They're headed toward the land of fire so you might run into them. You have 30 minutes to leave. Tsunade said and both of them vanished. Team Naruto, so what's going to happen? Natsumi asked, we split up. They're already fighting. It's 4 enemies and one of them is further ahead. Kiba and Choji, take to the west forest. Ino and I will take the hills to the northeast. Natsumi and Lee take the northwest forest. We'll operate in backup squads of 2. Naruto said, I still think we should have gotten the others. Ino said, you mean Shino, Niji, Hinata and Sakura? Natsumi asked, the 4 of them are already ahead. They've been sent on a different route and won't be participating in the battle. They'll be responsible for healing the wounded so we can keep fighting. Niji and Shino will be the backup fighters in case somebody gets hurt while Hinata and Sakura will focus on healing. Move out. Naruto said and they all went their separate ways. Temari was covered in cuts and bruises and she was in a tough position. Her opponent was also a wind user, but she used her wind on a level completely different compared to Temari because she could use her swords to slice the wind or send Temari's attacks back at her. Her opponent just destroyed all of the trees surrounding them with a powerful wind jutsu and Temari was in a pinch right now. Nowhere left to hide and you feel helpless. Poor thing. Kujaku taunted, she can take everything I throw at her. I've got no choice. I have to try it. Temari thought and used her wind style, Sea Dragon Jutsu, but nothing happened. I'm waiting. Wasn't something supposed to happen? It looks like the wind has turned its back on you. Kujaku said, I wouldn't be so sure. The wind and I are good friends. Temari said she held her hand up and then Kujaku was caught in the middle of a tornado that formed from the sky. However, much to Temari's shock, she recovered and countered the jutsu, sending it back towards Temari. Once the jutsu hit, Temari was sent flying into a tree and coughed up some blood. Kujaku used the air/jutsu and before it connected to kill Temari, Temari vanished. How did she dodge that? Kujaku asked, right on time. Sorry to disappoint you, but she's not dying. Naruto said, as he was holding Temari in his arms and Ino was next to him, who are you? Kujaku asked, allies of the sand. We're Shinobi of the Leaf Village. Naruto and Ino said, so you're the one the leaf trotted out for me, huh? Temari asked, as Naruto put her down, something like that. Think of it as us cashing in the favor. Naruto said, Gaara and Kankuro are chasing down the ones who have our village girl. You should go help them out. I can handle this. Temari said, you sure are doing a fine job of handling it. You look like shit and she looks like she's not even trying. Besides, Gaara and Kankuro have their own backup on the way. Naruto said, good to know. Kujaku said, why don't you take a break? I'll handle this one and we can go get the girl. Naruto said, I said I can handle it. Temari said, sure you can. Ino, make sure she doesn't fall over. Naruto said, sure. Ino said, you want to fight me as well? Fine, just another person eager to die. Kujaku said and got her swords ready, don't worry, I'll end it quickly. Naruto said and pulled out his sword. Naruto took one step and then he just vanished before their very eyes, making them gasp. Kujaku wasn't prepared for an attack from behind due to how fast he was moving and he sliced her on her back. She dropped one of her swords as she yelled in pain and then Naruto appeared in front of her. Before Kujaku could react in time, Naruto kicked her other sword out of her hand and then punched her in the gut. He did more damage than I could after only 3 moves. Temari thought, man, he's fast. I can't even see him move. Ino thought, how are you so fast? Kujaku asked, training and I get natural speed from my father. He was the fastest shinobi alive before he died. Naruto said, is that true? Ino asked and Temari looked at her, you mean to tell me that you didn't know the 4th Hokage was the fastest shinobi alive before he died? What did they teach you in the academy? Temari asked, why you're the son of the Yellow Flash? Kujaku asked, yup. Naruto said before Kujaku could make her move, Naruto punched her again in the stomach and then gave her a few strikes underneath her left arm, striking a few pressure points rendering that arm useless. While she was kneeled down holding her arm, Temari came and smacked her away with her fan before finishing her off with the Wind Dragon Jutsu that literally ripped her to shreds. That's not fair. I had her. Naruto said, well, I was tired of seeing her face. Temari said and fell down in pain, see what happens when you don't listen? Naruto asked and poked her nose, shut up. Ino, can you heal me? Temari asked, sorry. I don't know any medical ninjutsu. Ino said and Naruto smirked, I know medical ninjutsu. Naruto said and she looked at him, then heal me. Temari said, what's the magic word? Naruto asked, seriously? You're going to do this now? Temari asked, you're right. Kankuro and Gaara might need backup. You're a big girl, I'm sure you can handle a little bit of pain. Naruto said and he was about to leave, wait. Will you heal me please, Naruto? Temari asked, as she grit her teeth, sure. See, that wasn't so hard. Naruto said and started to heal Temari's wounds, I'm going to kick your ass when you're finished. Temari said, you can try. Naruto said, who taught you this stuff? Ino asked, myself. I'm surprised you don't know any medical ninjutsu. You aren't much of a fighter. Naruto said, hey. I can fight. Ino said, yeah. Maybe an academy student. You're a far-range fighter thanks to your clan techniques. Learning some medical ninjutsu won't hurt. It would actually help your team. Naruto said, as he finished healing Temari and helped her stand up, thank you. Temari said, you're welcome. Now, let's go save your brother and his student. Naruto said and left in a swirl of fire, he's so amazing and he's cute. Ino said and left, oh hell no. He's mine. Temari thought and quickly went after them. Few minutes later, who the hell is that? Naruto asked, as he, Ino and Temari met up with the others, my name is Saimai. Saimai said, he was resurrected thanks to them taking away Gaara's chakra. I think he wants to extract Shikaku from Gaara. Natsumi said, well, unless he knows how to open that seal on Gaara then it's not going to happen. Naruto said, Matsuri, are you okay? Temari asked, as she went over to the girl, yeah, but Gaara-sensei needs help. Matsuri said, okay. You guys look after her. I'm going to help Gaara. Natsumi said, will you all relax? Gaara is fine and doesn't need any help. Naruto said, he's losing chakra though. Kankuro said and Naruto chuckled, taking chakra from people like Gaara and Natsumi is pointless. Natsumi and Gaara have more chakra than everybody in their respective villages combined, but Natsumi has way more chakra than Gaara. He hasn't lost much chakra actually. Naruto said, then why is Gaara turning into the Shikaku? Kankuro asked, well, he's pissed off. They came into his village and took his student. Naruto said and then the sand started to fall off of Gaara, look. He's returning to normal. Matsuri said, how though? Natsumi asked, he's fighting off the transformation. Temari said, he wants to finish this fight using his own power. Not the monster within him which he knows he can't control. Kankuro said, so, you still have some fight left in you to fight off the Shikaku, huh? Saimai said, if I'm to help my friends, I must do it for myself on my own. Gaara said, you're such a fool. Allowing your emotions to guide you. A shinobi must abandon emotion to obtain ultimate power, and power is the only truth in this world. You're about to find out. Your time is up, freak of the Sand Village. Saimai said and Gaara smirked, that's what you think. Gaara said, why so cocky? I'm still draining your chakra as we speak. Saimai said, it's as Naruto said. I still have plenty of chakra left. However, all that time you had me trapped in that cage earlier, do you think I was sitting on my hands doing nothing? Gaara asked, meaning what? Saimai asked. Gaara clapped his hands together and used his sand tsunami jutsu to create sand from the earth around them. Gaara buried Saimai with his sand burial, but Saimai managed to escape it and then started to drain Gaara's chakra even faster. Gaara simply held his hand in the air and formed his ultimate attack known as Shikaku's Pike. Gaara threw the pike at Saimai and it broke through his ninja tool armor as well as stabbing him in the stomach. With his ninja tool broken, Saimai fell to the ground and Gaara buried him underground with his giant sand burial, trapping him for good. Alright. Natsumi said, Gaara-sensei beat him. Matsuri said and then Gaara fell to the ground. Konoha few days later, so, this is it, huh? Natsumi asked, as she was standing next to Naruto at the gate. Yeah. I guess it is. Naruto said, I'm sure the two of you will be fine. Tsunade said, maybe, but I have to travel with the pervert and I'm developing now. He might try something on me. Natsumi said, just remember to use the barrier I gave you. Trust me, you're going to love it. Naruto said, what does it do? Natsumi asked, you'll see. Naruto said, there you are. I was looking all over for you. Jiraiya said, as he appeared at the gate, you obviously didn't look hard enough, pervy sage. Natsumi said, don't call me that. Jiraiya yelled, bite me. Natsumi said, will the two of you calm down? Anyway, Natsumi. This scroll contains jutsus from my grandfather's vault. With the way you progress, you should have most or all of them down when you get back. I also added some wind, earth and water ninjutsu in there as well. Tsunade said and gave her a scroll, looks kind of small to hold all of that. Natsumi said, it's a storage scroll. You have sections labeled for each chakra nature on the scroll to make it easier for you. Tsunade said and Temari appeared at the gate, there goes your girlfriend, Naruto. Natsumi said, shut up. Naruto said and walked away, you didn't deny it. Natsumi yelled Naruto and Temari, I thought you went back to Suna. Naruto said, not yet. I wanted to see you before you left. 2.5 years is a long time without seeing you. Temari said, I'll still write you letters. Tatsu doesn't mind. Naruto said, I know, but it's just weird not knowing where you are. Temari said, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I promise. Naruto said and she looked down, what if you're not? What if something happens and then I? Temari was cut off by Naruto, who pulled her in for a kiss that made her eyes widen until she slowly closed them and relaxed into the kiss. This was their first official kiss instead of on the cheek like they always did, and she pulled him deeper into the kiss. They broke apart and she stared up into his eyes with a smile on her face. "I'll be fine, okay?" Naruto asked, and she nodded, "Okay. Just promise me that you'll write as soon as you get there." Temari said, "I promise." Naruto said, "So, are we official?" Temari asked, "I don't know. I'm about to be gone for nearly 3 years. Who's to say that you don't find somebody else?" Naruto asked, and she gave him a kiss. "I don't want anybody else." Temari said, "Then I guess we're official then." Naruto said, and they heard a hawk in the sky signaling he had to leave. "I'll be here when you get back." Temari said and gave him a hug. "I'll see you later." Naruto said and gave her a kiss before going back to the others. "So, how was it? Did you kiss?" Natsumi asked, "Did you kiss Hiroshi on your birthday?" Naruto asked, "No." Natsumi said and blushed, "Right. Anyway, do you still have the scroll on the Rasengan?" Naruto asked, "Yeah." Natsumi said, "How about a challenge? One more for the road. No wagers on this one." Naruto said, "I'm listening." Natsumi said, "My challenge for both of us is to create our own version of the Rasengan. Dad already had the massive Rasengan. I'm talking about something unique that's never been seen before." Naruto said and spit on his hand, "You're on." Natsumi said and spit on her hand before shaking his, "Come back as strong as me, Natsumi. I may want to test you when you get back." Naruto said and gave her a hug, "I'll come back even stronger than you. I can't become Hokage if there's somebody stronger than me." Natsumi said and he chuckled, "Of course you can't. Take care of yourself." Naruto said, "You do the same." Natsumi said, and then Naruto left with a squad of Umbu making her sigh. "Are you alright?" Tsunade asked, "No. He's been with me like every day since we were 5. It's going to be weird not having him around." Natsumi said, "I guess you're right, but this is best for the both of you." Tsunade said, "I guess you're right." Natsumi said and gave her a hug, "Take care of her, you pervert." Tsunade said, "Don't worry, I will." Jiraiya said, and they started to walk out of the gates, but Natsumi stopped to say something. "I'll see you later, Mom." Natsumi said and ran after Jiraiya. "Mom. I thought the day would never come when I'd hear those words." Tsunade said and looked at the direction they went. "Take care, Natsumi. It'll be a long 2.5 years without you." Tsunade thought 2.5 years have gone by since the departure of Natsumi and Naruto. The village has grown a lot along with the other Konoha genin. While Shikamaru and Niji were the only jonin, everyone else made chunin. The news of Natsumi leaving the village with Jiraiya made the Akatsuki halt their plans since they couldn't track her movements. There were also ramblings of the Akatsuki failing in some attempts to capture any stray jinchuriki, but nothing was ever proven. Natsumi grew a lot over her training with Jiraiya, and she was thankful for the seal Naruto gave her because Jiraiya did in fact try to peep on her a few times. Her growth made her an exact replica of Kushina, but she was a couple inches taller than her mother as she stood at 5 feet 8 inches. Her hair also grew to her thighs, but she has loose bangs covering her forehead and side bangs framing her face. In terms of her overall skill, Jiraiya said he rated her above Kakashi, but below himself. Her ninjutsu skills were off the charts and Jiraiya knew she'd excel at ninjutsu, but not to the level of not really needing hand signs so early. Her taijutsu was enough to force him to nearly fight her at full strength. She mastered her Wing Chun fighting style and Jiraiya wanted her to learn something else, so she decided on Muay Thai and Krav Maga. Jiraiya also got her started on Frog Kumite to get her ready for when the Toads decide to train her. Jiraiya nearly took her everywhere except Kiri and Kumo. They didn't go to Kiri due to the war they had going on, and he didn't take her to Kumo because of the past when they tried to kidnap her mother. He didn't want to risk them being ambushed and possibly having the Akatsuki catch on to them. Her kenjutsu lessons were taught to her by samurai in the Land of Iron, and she was a master since kenjutsu was in her blood. In order for her to use the Kubikurabocho easier, she placed a small storage seal on her, and so she can just summon it in the middle of a fight. Her training with Jiraiya also meant that she had to learn to use the Nine Tails chakra, and Jiraiya was shocked that she didn't have any negative effects until the fifth tail started to show. Jiraiya has a huge gash on his chest because she lost control one day and attacked him. He worked with the necklace of the first Hokage to suppress the Nine Tails chakra since he used a chakra suppression seal. She woke up the very next day without knowing what happened, and Jiraiya decided to keep that from her. Her genjutsu was still horrible, but she could break out of B-rank genjutsu now. Her Kekkei Genkai also came along great, and she learned most of the jutsu Tsunade gave her. Jiraiya deduced that her wood style is a possible reason for her to use so much of the Nine Tails chakra with no negative drawbacks, and she told him that she already figured that out with Naruto. So, pervy sage. Natsumi said, "I thought I asked you to stop calling me that." Jiraiya said, "Yeah, and I also asked you to not peep on me during the trip, but that didn't happen." Natsumi said, "I didn't do it much." Jiraiya said, "You've tried every single day we've been traveling. You're lucky you aren't dead right now with your nuts chopped off. That seal Naruto gave me saved your life." Natsumi said, "I still want to know how that thing works." Jiraiya said, "Nope. If you know how it works, then you'll find a way to get rid of it, and that's not happening." Natsumi said, and he grumbled under his breath, "What is it then? What do you want?" Jiraiya asked, "Do you think I'll make Jonin after all of this training?" Natsumi asked, "Isn't that what you were aiming for?" Jiraiya asked, "Yeah, but the way some people on the council feel about me, they might treat me like the plague still and vote against it." Natsumi said, "You didn't read the messages Tsunade sent me, so it's no wonder you don't know this. Tsunade changed the entire council, so now only the Hokage and Shinobi Council decide who gets promoted. I think you'll just do a test as a formality to see where your skills are." Jiraiya said, "I guess. I mean, I don't mind kicking somebody's ass. I hope it's Anko. I still owe her for cutting my cheek during the Chunin exams." Natsumi said, "That was like 3 years ago and you instantly healed after that. It's not like you have a scar on your cheek." Jiraiya said, "That's not the point. I will have my revenge." Natsumi said, "Make sure you fight her wearing skimpy clothing in a pool of water." Jiraiya said, as he started to giggle with blood coming out of his nose, and Natsumi turned to give him a creepy smile, "You know what comes next, right?" Natsumi asked, and Jiraiya paled. "Mercy?" Jiraiya asked, "Not a chance." Natsumi said, and Jiraiya could be heard screaming for miles, making all women smile that heard him. Konoha, the Hidden Leaf Village, has been quiet without Natsumi around, and the village morale was a bit low. It was Natsumi's pranks or challenges with Naruto that gave the village a bit of extra life, and without it, everything seemed so boring. However, Tsunade did her best to change the village, and she did just that. Her medical program was an instant success, and she even took Sakura on as her apprentice. Their mortality rate on missions were significantly less than they were before, since every mission had at least one medic in the team now. The village also expanded further out thanks to the increased population, as many have heard about Konoha prospering under Tsunade. Of course, there were the usual spy that would try to get into the village, but everyone had to go through a screening process which involved dealing with Anko and Ibiki, which easily spelled disaster for any spy. Once the spies were caught, they were simply placed in a stasis scroll and sent back to their home with a kind message from Tsunade which had an underlying threat if they did it again. With the village expanding and more money coming into the village under Tsunade, many merchants started to redirect their routes to take them through Konoha and see the village themselves. The allies of Konoha eventually came to renegotiate their treaties, and each treaty was better than the previous ones they had. Of course, many villages were hesitant on Konoha's growth since they looked like they were getting ready to attack somebody, but Konoha was adamant on not attacking anybody who did not attack them. Speaking of Tsunade, she quickly became the focal point of many of the new men that moved into the village, and some of them even asked her out on a date, but she respectfully declined. It flattered her to be wanted still at her age, but she couldn't bring herself to go out with them since she loved someone else. Shizune also had her fair share of interests and went on a few dates, but the most shocking date she had was with Genma, who she would still occasionally go out with. "Lady Tsunade, it's almost time for their return, isn't it?" Shizune asked, and Tsunade looked up at her. "Already? I thought they had at least a few more months." Tsunade said and went back to her paperwork. "Nope. I marked it on your calendar. I knew you'd miss them. Especially Natsumi, since she called you her mom before leaving." Shizune said, and Tsunade smiled. "Yeah. She's grown on me faster than I thought she would. She reminds me so much of Kushina that it's not even funny." Tsunade said, "I wonder what she looks like now. Do you think Jiraiya actually trained her?" Shizune asked. "He did. I sent him a few slugs on the mission and he said she's grown quite a bit." Tsunade said, "I see. I couldn't help notice. Your paperwork is nearly done and you've been caught up on work for the past year. This wouldn't happen to have anything about a certain pervert returning to the village that you mumble about in your sleep, is it?" Shizune asked, and Tsunade blushed. "No. You've been keeping up with your hair and making sure your breasts are nice and perky. This wouldn't happen to have anything to do with a certain senbon chewing jonin, would it?" Tsunade asked, and Shizune turned bright red. "And no." Shizune said, "Really? Seems like he notices, and you two do spend a lot of time together. Is it possible that Shizune has finally settled down?" Tsunade asked, and now Shizune had smoke coming from her ears. "We're just friends." Shizune said, "Somebody you're just friends with sure does take you out on a lot of dates. Somebody you're just friends with gets an awful lot of kisses on the cheek and each one moves closer to his lips." Tsunade said, and Shizune held her head down. "Okay. Fine. I like him, but we haven't declared what we are yet." Shizune said, "You'll be fine. Anyway, the Chunin exams are coming up soon. Have you heard from Shikamaru?" Tsunade asked. "No. The combination of him being lazy and Temari traveling between here and Suna is making things difficult." Shizune said, "Temari should be here in a few days, so I'll just talk to both of them then." Tsunade said, and stamped a rejection sign on a piece of paper. "Another for the rejected pile, I see." Shizune said, "Yeah. The old civilian council members have put in a request for an early release. They've got about 2 years left. They'll be fine." Tsunade said, "I must say that the crime rate in this village has gone down now that we've expanded our prison here after the village grew." Shizune said, "That's because before we had limited space and now it's more space for more people. Everyone that has been killed in this village was sent to blood prison while the lesser charges are spent here." Tsunade said, and had a shocked expression on her face as she read a letter. "What is it, Lady Tsunade?" Shizune asked. "It's a recommendation for Naruto to get a field promotion to Jonin. It's signed by Mei and the other leaders of the rebel faction. She said he's shown growth in leadership, skill, and tactics. Every mission he was on he made sure his comrades returned safe even if it meant failure." Tsunade said, "Wow. I wonder how we missed that." Shizune said, and Tsunade approved of it. "This had to be sent 2 years ago. It's at the bottom of the pile." Tsunade said, "So, he's a Jonin, but Natsumi isn't." Shizune said, "I think we both know Natsumi will make Jonin when she comes back. I didn't want to give Naruto the Jonin vest right away since I wanted to test them first. I know it's pointless, but it's something I promised somebody I would do." Tsunade said, and Shizune nodded. "I can't lie and say that I'm not eager to see how much they've grown." "Who do you think will be stronger?" Shizune asked. "Without a doubt. Naruto will, but I think with Natsumi getting uninterrupted training with Jiraiya, who said he didn't go easy on her, I think that she'll be able to go toe-to-toe with him for a bit." Tsunade said, and Shizune nodded as she grabbed the cart-filled stacks of papers. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'll take these to the filing office and then take my lunch. Do you need anything before I go? Shizune asked. No. Just tell Genma that I said he has a mission tomorrow morning. Tsunade said, I will. Shizune said and left with a smile on her face. Kiri. The Bloody Mist Civil War was something that plagued Kiri for years under the reign of the 4th Mizukage, and it was finally over. Although it wasn't much, thanks to Konoha sending over support and medical supplies during the Civil War, the rebel faction led by Mei Terumi was finally able to win and put an end to the Civil War. It wasn't easy, but thanks to Konoha sending aid, there were a lot less casualties on their side and they were able to counteract the Mizukage followers. Mei was very thankful when Naruto made it to Kiri because at first he was the medic of the faction thanks to his knowledge in medical ninjutsu. He trained a few people with the help of his shadow clones to add more medics to the faction and even gave them some books to study from that he had. About 2 months after Naruto arrived in Kiri, it was revealed that the 4th Mizukage, Gaara, was already dead and his death was a mystery. Ao pointed out that he detected that Gaara was under a genjutsu, and Naruto pointed out that only a Sharingan user would be strong enough to control a jinchuriki. This led to a discussion about any rogue Uchiha clan members before their demise, but Naruto told them every single Uchiha member was accounted for in the village. About a year after Naruto was sent there is when he discovered Danzo was sending his men to help keep the civil war going while trying to manipulate the Mizukage loyalists to his side. He brought this to Mei's attention and assured her that Tsunade knew nothing about this because Danzo has been sending root umbu after him as well for years, but there's never any trace of them left after they die since their body goes up into flames. He had the idea for her to send her best stealth team with him to take out some of their bases around the village, and she agreed to the plan. It took about 5 weeks to do so, but they managed to take out most of the loyalist bases around the village that would prevent them from moving forward. The final year was spent picking off loyalists and sometimes killing them if they didn't surrender when given the opportunity. Naruto has begun to wear his mask again when he reached Kiri because they were supposed to be there in secret just in case they were on the losing end, and he struck fear into the hearts of the loyalists because many of them thought he was a younger version of Kakashi who earned the moniker Sharingan Kakashi in Kiri during the 3rd Shinobi War. The biggest difference was Naruto gave them a chance to surrender, whereas Kakashi wasn't so nice, and 9 times out of 10, they surrendered when Naruto gave them the option. While Naruto was there, his fellow comrades dubbed him Konoha's Dragon Rider due to him always going into a fight with the dragons. He was lucky nothing leaked out of Kiri because he would be in the bingo book right now, but without a face to match the name. Of course, with him wearing his mask again and being recognized in the rebel faction, he was sought out by almost every woman around him. He kindly declined their offers, but took the chance to help his comrades get laid, and that gained him an even higher respect amongst the men. While he did learn some more skills while in Kiri, he mainly focused on execution and timing of said skills. You could know a lot of ninjutsu, kenjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu and more, but if you didn't know how to properly use them in battle, they were useless. He grew in strength and he was the 2nd strongest amongst the bloodline faction behind Mei Terumi, but many believed he could actually defeat her in combat. That was their belief, but he and Mei had a private spar and he lost. However, the fight was extremely close and she told him that given a few more months or a year that he should be able to beat her. She was a Kage-level ninja and the 5th Mizukage after all, so he took pride that he was able to push her so far. While he was there during the war, Naruto hit a growth spurt that made him seem like he was a grown man despite him being almost 17 years old. His voice was deep, but it was calm, similar to Minato's voice, and you could hear the power behind it if he gave out an order. He lost all of his baby fat and grew some muscle that was built for speed and power. His hair grew out quite a bit until he had it cut back to its original length with 2 jaw-length bangs. He now stood at 6 feet 3 inches and he stood out like a sore thumb in the rebellion faction since he was the tallest person there. He was currently sitting on top of the Mizukage building when somebody walked up and sat next to him. You know everyone is looking for you. Mei said, as she was wearing her Kage hat. I know, but it's good to have some time to myself every once in a while. Naruto said, you don't have to be such a loner, Naruto. The people here love you. Mei said, true, but I've always been the loner type. I have no problems hanging out with people, but being alone sometimes is nice. I'm sure you understand since you're the new Mizukage, and I'll also guess that's why you're up here instead of in the office. Naruto said, and she giggled, that is true. Who knew being Mizukage would involve so much paperwork? It's like it doesn't stop. Mei said, and he chuckled, you are fresh off of a civil war which nearly brought the village to its own end. You're cleaning up the mess of your predecessors. It's not going to be easy. You have to rebuild with what you have. Naruto said, and she sighed, just remember to give Lady Tsunade the treaty I drew up. It's not much, but it's the best I can do at this point. Mei said, come on. Have I ever forgotten to do something important since I've been here? Naruto asked, yes. Quite a bit in fact. I remember numerous occasions of you nearly burning the food. How about the time I sent you out hunting and you forgot to bring the food back? Mei asked, ah. That's all in the past. Naruto said and waved her off, it was 3 weeks ago. Mei said, still in the past. Naruto said, and she sighed, smartass. Anyway, as thanks for helping us win and put an end to the civil war, I have something for you. Mei said, Mei, as many times you've tempted me, I'm not sleeping with you. Naruto said, and she rolled her eyes, it's not that. I am the Mizukage. I must have more respect for myself. I can't be chasing men. I have more important things to do. Mei said, then why do you always get sad when somebody brings up marriage? I recall you nearly killing 5 people because they said they were getting married after the civil war ended. Naruto said, and she looked at him with a sweet smile, Naruto, shut up. Mei said, well, that's rude. Naruto said, and she pulled out a scroll, I'm not offering you sex. I respect a man when he tells me he has a girlfriend, and especially when his girlfriend happens to be the Kazekage's sister. This is a thank you gift as well as an apology for melting your sword during our spar. Mei said and gave him a scroll, what is it? Naruto asked, unseal it and you'll find out. Mei said, and he unsealed it revealing his old sword, it's my old sword. Naruto said, and she shook her head, it's a completely different sword. Although it looks the same, it was made from the fang of one of your dragon summons. The machine that was used to create the 7 ninja swords of the mist was still intact and I used it to make your new sword. It's the same length as your old Chikudo, but it's sharper, handles chakra better, and since it's made from one of your dragon summons teeth, I assume it should be able to handle your second source of chakra as well. I don't know why it came out the color it did, but it matches the color of your eyes. Mei said, and Naruto gave her a hug, thank you. You didn't have to do this. Naruto said, I know, but I overheard you telling Chojuro that your father made that sword of yours and I figured this was the least I could do. Mei said and pouted when he broke the hug, making him chuckle, thank you for this. You know, if I'd met you before the Chunin exams and you were my age, I'd seriously make you my girlfriend, but I have Temari. Naruto said, and she smiled seductively at him, she could always share. I'm okay with that. Mei said, Temari already made it abundantly clear that she isn't sharing me with anybody. I'm sure you remember when a female medic wanted me to ask Temari if she could share me with her and Temari nearly made the girl run away so she wouldn't be able to find her. Naruto said, and Mei laughed, oh boy do I ever remember that. Still, it doesn't hurt to try. Mei said, and Naruto had an idea, why not ask Chojuro out? Naruto asked, Chojuro is too sweet and nervous to even have a girlfriend. Besides, I'm in my 30s now and he's only a few years older than you. Mei said, true, but I've caught him checking you out quite a few times over the past 2.5 years. He likes you, but he's too scared to say something to you. Naruto said, how can you tell? Mei asked. I overheard him one night rubbing one out and saying your name. Why do you think I decided to get my own space away from him? It was like every other night with him. Naruto said, and Mei blushed. I had no idea. Mei said, just go easy on him in the bedroom. I don't think he's prepared for all of your built-up sexual tension. Naruto said, and she chuckled, he sure isn't. Now, how's it going with you and Temari? Mei asked. We're good. We miss each other and Tatsu has been busy with the letters being sent between us. Naruto said, ah yes. Tatsu. The lovable dragon responsible for paralyzing my entire medical corps. Mei said, I did warn them to not surround her and grab her. Naruto said, that is true. So, have you and Temari talked about the next step? Mei asked. It's been brought up, but we're not in a rush. Sure, the tension will be there after not seeing each other for nearly 3 years, but if it happens it happens. Naruto said, and then an Umbu appeared behind Mei. Can I help you? Mei asked. Lady Mizukage, the water daimyo is here to see you. The Umbu said, tell him that I'll be there shortly. Mei said, of course. The Umbu said and vanished. Duty calls. Naruto said, and she chuckled, you could always fill in for me. You'd made a great Kage. Mei said, being Kage doesn't really interest me. Naruto said, so, if you were offered the Hokage position you wouldn't take it? Mei asked, nope. Being Hokage is my sister's dream. I'll gladly pass the opportunity to her. Naruto said, and Mei nodded, what is your dream? Mei asked, settle down and have a family. Naruto said, well, I think you're already halfway there. Temari sounds like a nice girl. Mei said, and they stood up. She is once you get past the tough exterior. Naruto said, apparently you've already done that. If I don't see you before you leave, I just want to thank you again for your help. Mei said and gave him a hug. You're welcome. I'll make sure Tsunade gets that treaty. Naruto said, thank you. Now, I must go use my womanly charms to seduce the daimyo to give us more money. Mei said and pushed her breasts up. If he's an old man then the meeting won't even last an hour. Naruto said and she smirked, an hour is too long. I'll have to get a tighter dress, maybe show a bit too much for him. All these old men are the same. Show them some breasts and they'll do anything you want. Mei said, to make things better, give him this. Naruto said and gave her a book. What is it? Mei asked. The latest book in Jiraiya's Ika Ika series and it's autographed. Natsumi sent it to me since he gave her 2 of them. Naruto said, not even official allies and you're already helping me out. I'll be sure to give this to him. Go and enjoy the feast later. Mei said and left Konoha. 3 days later the village was quiet, calm and filled with laughter from the children playing in the village. The villagers were enjoying their peace and quiet, unaware of a certain somebody returning to the village. 2.5 years of peace and quiet was about to be disrupted all because of one person as she ran up the tallest pole she could find. Natsumi Uzumaki Namikaze is back bitches. Natsumi yelled and all of the birds flew away. Natsumi, is that you? When do you get back to the village? A voice asked and Natsumi looked down to see a familiar head of pink hair. Just now. Long time no see huh, Sakura? Natsumi asked. Look at you. You've grown up quite a bit. You're even taller than me now. Sakura said, yes. Her height isn't the only thing that's changed. Jiraiya said and giggled. Excuse me for a moment. Natsumi said and Sakura was a witness to attempted murder right before her very eyes as Natsumi nearly killed Jiraiya. I see her temper hasn't changed at all. Sakura thought, don't do it again. Do you understand me? Natsumi yelled, why yes. Jiraiya said and Natsumi twisted his arm even more. I didn't fucking hear you. Natsumi yelled, okay. I won't do it again. Jiraiya said and tapped out, better not. Natsumi said and stood up, yup. Same old Natsumi. Sakura thought, so, look at you. You haven't really changed at all. I mean, you've gotten a bit taller, but you're still as flat as a cutting board. Natsumi said, and Sakura's eye twitched. Gee. Thanks. I can't believe I missed you all this time. Sakura said, and Natsumi pulled her in for a hug. It's good to see you again, Sakura. Natsumi said, and Sakura hugged her back. Yeah. Same here. I love what you've done to your hair. Sakura said, thanks. I see you still keep yours short now. Natsumi said, yeah. It gets in the way and can easily be grabbed during a fight. Sakura said, that's why my hair is a literal weapon. They can grab it if they want to. They won't like the end result. Natsumi said, oh. You will never believe this. Sakura said, you finally got a boyfriend. Natsumi said, and Sakura rolled her eyes, no. Sakura said, your breasts are actually bigger than that and you're hiding behind a genjutsu. Natsumi said, no. Sakura said, oh. Oh. I know. You and Ino finally settled the sexual tension between the two of you. Natsumi said, no. Sakura yelled, then what is it? Natsumi asked, Shizune has a boyfriend. Sakura said, what? No fucking way. How? Natsumi asked, Natsumi, we need to go see Tsunade. Jiraiya said, yeah. Yeah. Sakura, tell me all about this on our way to the office. Natsumi said, and they walked off towards the Hokage Tower. Tsunade's office. Shizune, how much longer? Tsunade asked, any minute now I assume. Shizune said, and there was a knock on the door, come in. Tsunade said, it's me, Lady Tsunade. I have the papers from the gate for you. Sakura said, and placed them on her desk. Thank you, Sakura. Tsunade said, oh, and there's one more thing. Sakura said, what is it? Tsunade asked, come in. Sakura said, and stepped out of the way so she could see the door. Hey, Tsunade. Long time no see. Jiraiya said, and Tsunade deflated, oh. It's just Jiraiya. Tsunade said, and grabbed some paper. Well, that's not the response I was looking for. We've been friends for over 30 years. Surely you can do better than that. Jiraiya said, Master Jiraiya, it's good to see you again. Shizune said, and bowed. See. Shizune gave me a proper greeting. I guess I'll just take my surprise back home. Jiraiya said, what surprise? Tsunade asked, and then Natsumi burst into the room. It's me. Hi Mom. Natsumi said, and Tsunade gave her a big hug. Welcome back, loudmouth. Tsunade said, it's good to be back. Natsumi said, and they separated. Let me take a look at you. You've grown so much. Tsunade said, she sure has. Jiraiya thought and pulled out his notepad only to scream at the top of his lungs, I didn't say anything. Wait a minute. What happened to my voice? I sound like a little kid. Jiraiya yelled, looks like you have to wait for your balls to drop again before you get your original voice back. Natsumi said, good shot. Tsunade said, and gave her a high five. Traveled with him for nearly 3 years. I can tell when he's thinking something perverted as well. Natsumi said, and Tsunade sat in her seat. So, how was the trip? Did you actually train her? Tsunade asked, come on. You didn't think we'd come back without any results, did you? Jiraiya asked, and they laughed at his voice. I'm very glad to hear that. Show me what you've got, Natsumi. Tsunade said, oh yeah. I've been waiting for this. I kick your ass and then force you to hand over the Hokage hat. Natsumi said, as she imagined herself wearing the Hokage hat, I have someone I'd like for you to go up against. You're not ready to face someone like me yet. I'd kick your ass. Tsunade said, then who is it? Natsumi asked, and there was a knock on the door. Come in. Tsunade said, as the door opened revealing Shikamaru and Temari. Hey. Shikamaru said, hey, Shikamaru, Temari. Look what the fox dragged in. Sakura said, oh haha, Pinky. A fox joke. Not like I haven't heard that one before. I give you 2 out of 10 on that one. Natsumi said, that's Natsumi? Shikamaru asked and his eyes wandered, my eyes are up here. Natsumi said, sorry. Shikamaru said, that's the same little redhead? Wait, if she's here, then where's Naruto? Temari thought, so, you're back, huh? Shikamaru asked, yeah. I just came back today. Natsumi said, look at you. You've grown. Are you the same as before? Shikamaru asked, she's still the same. The instant she saw me she called me flat-chested. Sakura said, it's not like I was lying. Does this mean you're my opponent, Shikamaru? Natsumi asked, opponent? What are you talking about? I just came here to drop off some paperwork. Shikamaru said, oh. Then if it's not you, then is it, What's your name again? Natsumi asked, as she looked at Temari, you don't remember me? Temari asked, I'm just joking. How could I ever forget my future sister-in-law? Come here. Natsumi said and pulled her in for a hug, it's good to see you again. Temari said, yeah. Hey, looks like you've grown as well. Those things are bigger than mine. I'm sure Naruto will love them. Natsumi said and Temari blushed, shut up. Hey! What are you doing? Temari asked and removed Natsumi's hands off of her breasts, 98 centimeters. Nice. Natsumi said and then glared at Jiraiya who shook his head no, don't do that again. Temari said, I won't. They were there for the touching. I did the same thing to Mom when I first met her. Natsumi said, Natsumi, you won't find your opponent here. He's out there. Tsunade said and pointed to the window making Natsumi walk towards it, so, Natsumi. You went and got all grown up. Kakashi said, Cyclope-sensei. You haven't changed a bit. Oh wait a second. I have something for you. Natsumi said and went into her ninja pouch, I was unaware that she was giving out gifts. Shizen said, I know. I wish I had one. Tsunade said, no way. Is that really? Kakashi asked as Natsumi held out a book for him, yup. The first new edition of the Make Out series in 3 years. Pretty boring if you ask me. There is no romance in it really. It's just plain smut. I had 2 of them, but I sent one to Naruto through a toad. Natsumi said and Kakashi started to lose his mind as he opened the book, calm down. This is no time for fooling around, Kakashi. Tsunade said and went back to her desk, so, I guess you're my opponent? Natsumi asked, well, you're somewhat right. Been a long time hasn't it, Sakura? Kakashi asked, yes it has, sensei. Sakura said, Where's Naruto? I assumed he'd be back by now. Kakashi said, hey, that's right. Where is he? We were supposed to get here the same day. Natsumi said and looked at Temari, what? Temari asked, you're his girlfriend. Do you know where he is? Natsumi asked, no, but I can find out. Temari said and used the seal on her hand to summon Tatsu, yo. Tatsu said, Tatsu, do you know where Naruto is? Temari asked, he's not here. He left Kiri like 3 days ago. Tatsu said, Kiri? I thought Kiri was in the middle of a civil war. Jiraiya said and Tatsu started laughing, what happened to your voice? Tatsu asked, I kicked his nuts back into his body for being a pervert. Natsumi said, nice. Anyway, I don't know where he is. I can't find his draconic chakra signature since he's really good at hiding it. He must have sensed I was here and hid it. He is alive though because you're still able to summon me. Tatsu said, maybe he got caught up in something. Sakura said, it is possible. I mean, Kiri was going through a civil war and must have stayed behind to help with the rebuild. Tsunade said, and then a huge chakra signature was felt in the room. Whose chakra is that? Sakura asked, and then a squad of Umbu appeared. Lady Tsunade, we have returned. Mission accomplished. Eagle said, excellent. Where is the other person I sent with you? Tsunade asked. He's on his way. His fangirls found him at the gates and he's running for his life right now. Eagle said, of course. Hand me the mission details, please. Tsunade said, he has the mission details and something else from the 5th Mizukage. Eagle said, and Tsunade nodded, thank you. Your mission is successful and you have earned a 5-month vacation. Return to Umbu HQ and report to the Umbu commander. Tsunade said, yes ma'am. Eagle said, and the Umbu vanished. You only sent 5 people to Kiri to help? Jiraiya asked, and Tsunade laughed, I can't deal with your voice. Lay on the couch and I'll heal you. It's going to hurt a lot. Tsunade said, and Jiraiya nodded with tears coming down his face. Only 5 people and they managed to get the job done. That's quite the squad you sent, Lady Tsunade. Kakashi said, I sent over 20 Umbu and now all of them have returned. I'm just waiting for the last person to get here. Tsunade said, as she started to heal Jiraiya and enjoyed hearing him whimper in pain. Who's the last person? Natsumi asked, I'm sure you can guess who it is. Tsunade said, causing Temari and Natsumi's eyes to widen. Naruto. The both said at the same time, Jinx. Natsumi said, what are we, 8? Temari asked, you're just mad because I said it first. Natsumi said, and Temari rolled her eyes, still as childish as ever, huh? A voice asked, Minato-sensei? Kakashi asked, wrong person. The voice said, and everyone looked to the ceiling. I could have sworn whoever said that was on the ceiling. Natsumi said, nope. The voice said, show yourself, damn it. Natsumi said, come on out, Naruto. I know it's you. Tatsu said, and they heard a sigh, you know, I was really hoping to keep that going for a while. Naruto said, as he appeared, oh. Sakura said, my. Shizen said, fucking. Natsumi said, gosh. Tsunade said, he's even hotter than before. Sakura said, he's mine. Temari said, and gave him a kiss, I missed you too. Naruto said, and gave her a hug, and Naruto, you've grown so much. Tsunade said, I'm not the only one. Well, Sakura and Shikamaru just got taller, but Natsumi and Temari have grown. I see you've copied my hairstyle a bit, Natsumi. Naruto said, meh. You've gotta admit that it looks nice. Natsumi said, it does. Naruto said, and gave her a hug, you look just like Dad. Natsumi said, you look just like your mother. Naruto said, and sent Tatsu back home. So, how was the mission? Tsunade asked. It was good. Oh, and you're not going to believe what I found out. Naruto said, does it have to do with you know who? Tsunade asked, yup. Naruto said, Shikamaru, you're finished for the day. I'll send for you when I have a mission. Tsunade said, sure. See ya. Shikamaru said, and Naruto sealed the room when he left. He could have stayed for this. Naruto said, he developed a gossip side from hanging around Ino too much. I couldn't risk it. Tsunade said, fair point. Naruto said, what happened? Tsunade asked, Mei gave me the okay to tell you this so it can't leave the room. The 4th Mizukage was already dead by the time I got there. Naruto said, and everyone in the room was shocked. What? Tsunade asked, yeah. He must have died around the time we became a genin because that's when Mei noticed there wasn't any structure to their attacks and then a complete change in their tactics. Anyway, AO revealed that Yagura was under genjutsu and I told them that only a Sharingan user can cast a strong enough genjutsu to control a tailed beast and a jinchuriki. After a year, I found out who had been sending help to the loyalists. Naruto said, who was it? Jiraiya asked, and Naruto raised an eyebrow. I kicked his nuts back into his body. That's why mom is holding her hands near his crotch. Natsumi said, right. Anyway, it was Danzo who was sending help to them. I don't know how, but he sent enough help to keep this going for years. My guess is that after he won the war then he'd run Kiri from the shadows. Naruto said, as he pulled out a root umbu mask, do you think he had something to do with the death of Yagura? Tsunade asked, it's possible, but Danzo doesn't leave behind evidence. However, that leaves another problem as well. Naruto said, what's that? Natsumi asked, the three-tailed beast will reform soon and it'll be there for the Akatsuki to take. Mei has already given us permission to stop them when the three tails reforms. Naruto said, how long do you think we have? Tsunade asked, I don't know. It's hard to tell. We don't know where the three tails will appear. Naruto said, that could be anywhere. Temari said, exactly. However, I do have a bit of intel that should be good for us to slow down their efforts on capturing the tailed beasts. Naruto said, what's that? Jiraiya asked, they have to seal the tailed beasts in order, but it would still take them a while to seal them away. Each tailed beast has more chakra than the next one. I estimate Shikaku would take maybe 3 to 5 days and the tailed beast's number of tails only gets bigger. Natsumi still has time since she has the 9 tails sealed inside of her. Gaara is the first one they'll go after. Naruto said, how did you find out all of this? Jiraiya asked, Tatsu isn't the only dragon of her kind. There's plenty of them and they're spy dragons with the ability to go invisible. I simply had some of them fly around the elemental nations and if they spotted anyone with a black cloak with red clouds on it, then they were to attach themselves to that person. Naruto said, then you must know where their base is. Kakashi said, I don't. The bad thing about the dragons going invisible is that their eyes still show. They have to keep them closed to keep them from getting discovered. Naruto said, how can't they find them with their chakra? Temari asked, because only I can sense draconic chakra. They can't and I used that to my advantage. Naruto said, we need to get to Suna then. Gaara is in trouble. Temari said, I have dragons all around Suna and they haven't reported anything yet. Now, I also have good news and bad news. Naruto said, what's the bad news? Tsunade asked, the 4 tails, 5 tails and 6 tails jinchuriki have already been captured. Naruto said, I thought you said they had to capture them in order. Natsumi said, I said they had to seal them in order. The Akatsuki can capture them whenever they want, but they can't seal them in any kind of way. The Akatsuki have the jinchuriki they've captured in some kind of stasis to keep them from releasing the tailed beasts. Iwa and Kiri have lost their tailed beasts. I know Fu is safe for now and will contact me with her summons if she's in trouble. We need to send word to Kumo to either protect their jinchuriki or help us defeat the Akatsuki. Naruto said, I already did and the Raikage declined. Tsunade said, we can't go into Kumo territory either. If his jinchuriki are captured I don't want to hear him complaining about it. Naruto said and tossed Tsunade a scroll, what's this? Tsunade asked, a treaty for an alliance between Konoha and Kiri. Mei said that she couldn't offer much, but that's because she's recovering from the civil war. Naruto said, you can call the 5th Mizukage by her first name? Temari asked, yeah. Naruto said, How close did you two exactly get? Temari asked, we're pretty close. After all her failed attempts at flirting with me we became friends. She melted my sword though when we fought. Naruto said, you fought the 5th Mizukage? Sakura asked, I honestly forgot she was in here. Natsumi said, me too. Anyway, yes we fought. It was after the war was over for a couple of months and she won. Barely, but she won. She used her lava ninjutsu to melt my sword and she made me a new one made from a dragon's tooth. Naruto said and pulled out his brand new sword, whoa. It's beautiful. Natsumi said, yup. Made from the very machine that was used to create the 7 ninja swords. Naruto said, wow. Natsumi said, Naruto. You didn't open this scroll, did you? Tsunade asked, no. It wasn't for me to open. Naruto said, well, these pictures are for you. Tsunade said and gave him a huge stack of pictures of naked women in various poses showing off their goods. Care to explain? Temari asked. I may have gained an interesting following over there. Naruto said, how interesting? Jiraiya asked. I had women of all ages throwing themselves at me. I mean literally I had to seal my room shut just to get some sleep. The women there apparently have no sex life and I basically became eye candy there for them. However, I passed them off to the other ninja there. My heart and lower region only belongs to Temari. Naruto said and kissed her cheek. Ah. I wish I had somebody to kiss my cheeks. Natsumi said, oh. Hiroshi was looking for you. Apparently he heard your voice and was looking for you. Naruto said, really? I mean, why should I care? Natsumi asked. He already told me the two of you started dating before you left. Naruto said, you're dating Hiroshi? Shizun asked, yeah. You're dating Genma. Natsumi said, how'd you find out? Shizun asked, Sakura told me. Natsumi said, Natsumi. Well, Lady Tsunade told me. Sakura said, Lady Tsunade. How could you? Shizun asked. I was drunk and it slipped out. Tsunade said, fine. Lady Tsunade is in love with Master Jiraiya. Shizun said, Shizun. Tsunade yelled, oops. It slipped out. Shizun said and then an argument started, ha. Sakura said, I don't see what's so funny. You have a crush on Shikamaru. Tsunade said, what? Natsumi asked, wanna get out of there? Naruto whispered to Temari and she nodded, yeah. Temari said and Naruto wrapped an arm around her waist before unsealing the room, activating a silencing seal to keep the argument from getting out. Let's go. Naruto said and they vanished. I guess the test can wait. Kakashi said and went up in smoke. Naruto and Temari, I missed you so much, Naruto. Temari said, I missed you too. At least we were able to keep in contact while I was away. Naruto said, yeah, but it wasn't enough. I mean Tatsu had to tell me once that I was annoying her with all of my messages. Temari said, that's because Tatsu isn't a fighter. You kept sending her into a war zone. Naruto said, I know. I apologized to her. Temari said, so, how've you been since I've been gone? Naruto asked, as they were walking around the village. It's been something, I'll tell you that much. As you know, I made Chunin, but once I took the Jonin exams I've been traveling non-stop between villages. I was either planning the Chunin exams in Suna, helping plan the Konoha Chunin exams which I'm doing now, or I was with Gaara for a diplomatic mission. Temari said, that's a lot of walking. Naruto said, I know. The only good thing about that is my kicks have gotten stronger. Temari said, you use taijutsu now? Naruto asked, why do you sound so surprised? Temari asked, well, you always fight from a distance. You didn't tell me you were learning taijutsu. Naruto said, I had to. I was on a B-rank mission and the guy I had to capture was a taijutsu and ninjutsu expert. I mean I won thanks to Kenkuro being there, but he kicked my ass. Temari said, well, I'm sure you're very good at it. Naruto said, oh, I am. I learned a different chakra nature though. I chose fire to complement my wind. I wanted a defensive chakra nature, but earth and water didn't feel right. Temari said, well, wind can be used offensively and defensively if used properly. There was a guy in Kiri who used wind to redirect a fireball jutsu back towards his opponent. Naruto said, how'd he manage to do that? Temari said, he said he used his wind manipulation to suck the oxygen out of the fireball before creating a wind tunnel and send it back while using the wind chakra to power the fireball. Naruto said, I need to learn how to do that. Temari said, I would teach you, but I'm not a wind user. Naruto said, yeah, I know. For somebody with as much natural skill as yourself, you don't go out trying to learn any more chakra natures. Temari said, I'm comfortable with what I have. I focused more on execution and timing during my training. While I did learn new techniques, all of my moves are fluent and build off of one another. Naruto said and wrapped an arm around Temari so she leaned into him while walking. What else did you learn? Temari asked, some kenjutsu techniques and better taijutsu. I added a defensive style to the mix. Can't always rely on my Sharingan as defense. Naruto said and she looked at his eyes, your eyes are different. Temari said, different how? Naruto asked, they seem to be losing color to them. Are you alright? Temari asked, yeah. I'm fine. Naruto said and she rolled her eyes, I've been around you a lot before you left. I know when you're lying. Temari said and he smirked, nothing gets past you, huh? Naruto asked, nope. Now tell me what's going on. Temari said, as they entered his apartment, you were here, weren't you? Naruto asked, as he looked around, how could you tell? Temari asked, it smells like flowers and there's no dust. Naruto said, yeah. When I was here I figured you wouldn't mind if I used your place. I made sure to keep it clean. Temari said and sat on the couch, want something to drink? Naruto asked, no. I want my boyfriend to join me on the couch and tell me why his eyes are losing their color. Temari said and he sighed, all right. Promise me that you won't freak out and you'll remain calm. Naruto said, as he sat next to her, it's something bad, isn't it? Temari asked, depends on how you look at it. Now, promise me you won't freak out or anything. Naruto said and she held both hands up, I promise. Temari said, I'm going blind. Naruto said bluntly and Temari took a few deep breaths to keep calm, okay. Mind telling me how? Temari asked, because of this. Naruto said and activated his Mangekyo Sharingan, what is that? I've never seen your Sharingan pattern like that before. Temari said, it's called the Mangekyo Sharingan. It's an advanced form of the Sharingan that has only been activated by a handful of Uchiha clan members. Naruto said, what does it do? Temari asked, the Mangekyo Sharingan retains all of the Sharingan's generic abilities. In addition to that, the Mangekyo grants powerful abilities that differ between each eye. It drains a lot of chakra to activate and maintain it as well as using a lot of chakra to use each technique. The techniques are very powerful, but they come with a price. Naruto said, you lose your eyesight. Temari said, correct. Naruto said and Temari just looked at him, if you lose your eyesight then why aren't you bothered? Temari asked, because there's a way to reverse the negative effects of using the Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto said, how? Temari asked, I need to transplant another Mangekyo Sharingan user's eyes into my own. The key is that the person must have close blood ties with me in order for it to work. Naruto said, then you're shit out of luck since your only family member alive is Natsumi. Temari said, that's true, but I'll be fine. Naruto said, how? You don't have another pair of Mangekyo Sharingan eyes. Temari said, I do. Naruto said and unsealed his mother's eyes from his arm, whose eyes are those? Temari asked, these are my mother's eyes. She awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan when her best friend, Natsumi's mother Kushina Uzumaki died and our father. When she was dying, she told me to remove her eyes and keep them for later in life knowing my Mangekyo would awaken after she died. I've kept them ever since. Naruto said, wait a minute. Your mother died when you were 7 so you've had your Mangekyo for nearly a decade now. Why are your eyes just now fading away? Temari asked, because growing up I never used it much. Sure, I unlocked the techniques for the Mangekyo, but the strain on my chakra reserves back then would have killed me if I used it more than twice a day. I didn't start to actively use it until I went to Kiri. Naruto said, so are you going to do the transplant? Temari asked, I've already informed Anko and Kurenai about this. They agreed to do the transplant when the time comes. Naruto said, when is that? Temari asked, I don't know, but soon. With us having to deal with the Akatsuki, I know I'll have to use the Mangekyo a few times. Plus, there's Itachi Uchiha to deal with. Naruto said, what does he have to do with this? Temari asked, he also has the Mangekyo Sharingan, and if somebody has to fight him, it will be me because I can counter his Mangekyo with my own. Naruto said, will you be able to see after you fight him? Temari asked, I don't know. It depends on when he's ready to fight. Naruto said, that could be today, tomorrow, or next year for all we know. Temari said, exactly. That's why I'll try not to use the Mangekyo Sharingan until we fight. Naruto said, and she sighed, well, I'm coming with you. They travel in pairs. You need somebody to watch your back. Just in case. Temari said, I already planned on you coming. Word about our fight would have gotten to you anyway, and I know you would use Tatsu to track me down. Naruto said, and she giggled, damn right I would. Temari said, and Naruto looked at her, did you just giggle? Naruto asked, and she rolled her eyes, shut up. It's not the first time I've giggled around you. Temari said, fair point. Naruto said and stood up, where are you going? Temari asked, to take a shower and maybe go to sleep. I've been traveling for 3 days and I miss my bed. Naruto said, oh yeah. Temari said, and Naruto took his shirt off, making her drool, if you plan on joining me, seal the apartment so nobody gets in. Naruto said, what? Temari asked and turned red, you heard me. Naruto said he walked away and went to take a shower while Temari was just sitting there on the couch. Eventually she got up and sealed the house before taking her clothes off. She did miss him a lot and there was no telling when she'd get this opportunity again. Long story short, it was a long afternoon for both of them that went into the night before they went to sleep. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Guys, make sure to help the author by visiting the link in the description. This is Fox Sage, and I'm signing off.